Right. It's the opener of what may be a big set. It'll depend on the hurricane. It's the Yankees and the Orioles, a single game tonight, and then we'll see what happens. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and this has been an extraordinarily tough 48 hours for all of the members of the Oriole family. We lost someone we love very much in Mike Flanagan. To the family, our condolences and our sympathies and our thoughts will be with you for a long time, but especially over this weekend. This is going to be a very tough night for those of us doing this game, as it was for those who were doing it yesterday, for the entire crew. I know the fans, I know you will understand that, and that while some of the energy may be missing from the ball game, you'll know where it's concentrated, and you'll know what we're thinking about. Tonight during this game, though, we are going to celebrate the life of Mike Flanagan and his life in baseball. They're going to celebrate it here at the Yard tonight. The Oriole team will be wearing that patch, the Flanny patch. It will be on for the remainder of the series. There will be the number 46 all over the ballpark tonight, particularly underneath our broadcast booth, where that is going to hang. There will be a moment of silence for Flanny in memory of him tonight prior to the game. There will be a video tribute to him at the end of the first inning. The Orioles flag is going to fly at half-staff out on the concourse, and there's going to be a guest book. It's already available. If you would like to share your memories, to go online to say something to the family, you may do so at either of those addresses, and we hope you will. Jim has already had to go through some of this yesterday. It's not going to be any easier tonight because, Jim, we come back home, and it's just all right in front of you.
Yeah, you know, you walk into the...
Yeah.
It's kind of appropriate that the Yankees are here. You know, I think a lot of people, and evidently Mike, think that they failed. $215 million. You know, one of the best teams in baseball. Mike had the courage as a general manager to take this on. And when I think of Mike, you know, I knew him as a teammate. I knew him as a friend. You know, I had a chance to mentor him, be in games, you know, off days. We do all kinds of stuff. And I think the most important thing is, you know, when I go to Google, Flanny was Google. So instead of when you're thinking about you don't know something, instead of Googling it, Flanny it. That's probably the way I think I'm going to always remember him.
We will go on, but I'll tell you something. We will miss him and his smile and that wonderful wry sense of humor he brought with him. They're going to now have a moment of silence as the fans are standing here at the ballpark in memory of Flanny. We'll go to the public address announcer.
A distinction of which he was enormously proud. As impressive as his accomplishments were on the field, what made Flanny so loved had nothing to do with the statistics. His legendary dry sense of humor and his loyalty to the Orioles made him enormously popular among fans, teammates, and co-workers. His passing leaves a tremendous void in the organization, but his legacy will remain a part of the Orioles for all time. In honor of his contributions to the Orioles and Masson, and in respect for the family and many friends he leaves behind, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence in memory of number 46, Mike Flanagan. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Great times on deck. Grab some Buds. And here at Camden Yards tonight, we begin what may be the first of a 5-game series against the Yankees. Take a look at our Train game time temperature, brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. 85 degrees, humidity up. Winds very gentle here so far tonight. Mostly cloudy skies with no sign of rain. Let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight for the Yankees, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jeter, Granderson, Teixeira, Rodriguez, Cano, Swisher, Posada, Martin, and Gardner. Curtis Granderson, you see lifetime against the Orioles starter with some good numbers.
Take a look at our AFCIA scouting report, brought to you by AFCIA. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. And again, for Tommy Hunter, you better bring your A game. Number 1 in home runs, runs scored, on base percentage. He likes the cutter. Let's not go crazy about it. And then command, not stuff. You can have the greatest stuff. The radar gun can be reading 95, 96. But you better stay out of the middle of the plate. And it would be a good idea to get ahead if you want to beat these Yankees.
Yankees coming off, even in their history, one of the great offensive explosions ever against Oakland, 22-9 in that game yesterday. Derek Jeter will go to short. Hardy will track it down. His long throws in time. And a red-hot Jeter is retired.
Take a look at the Nissan defense. Here it is for the Orioles here at Camden Yards. And again, Reimold, Angle because of Jones's chest injury. Hopes to be back in a couple of days. Markakis in right field. And Dino, Hardy, Adams, Reynolds with a big 3-run home run yesterday. And then Matt Wieters doing a great job behind the plate. And the bat has been heating up.
Curtis Granderson in the running for MVP honors this year, depending on what happens toward the final month here. But what a magnificent year. Leads the majors, 119 runs, 103 RBIs, a career high. Ranked second in home runs. He's got 36 of those. He has had an absolutely spectacular season. Granderson hitting .333 against the Orioles. He's had a home run and 5 RBIs. Hunter's pitch to second. Shift is on. Right to Adams. He got him.
Yep, those are your scouting reports. They indicate if you're going to pitch him a certain way. Tommy Hunter doesn't walk a lot of guys. Matt Angle, Brian Adams, what he wanted to do, go down to AAA Norfolk. He got labeled not a good defensive play a couple of nights ago. Big double play in Minnesota tonight. Again, you want to not turn this lineup over, Gary, as you know. So, you just want to try to get through them, and good defense certainly will allow you to do that.
Here is Mark Teixeira. Teixeira, the switch hitter, who as usual is having an outstanding second half. .295 right-handed, .223 left-handed though, but 23 home runs from this side of the plate. 23 of the 35 homers that he have hit on the year hit left-handed. For Teixeira, he is third in homers behind Bautista and Granderson. Only 2 behind the leader, actually, Jose Bautista. And 98 RBIs. That's also third best in the American League. Tommy Hunter trying to have a good first inning, which is where the Yankees have just done a number on everybody this year. And if Hunter can get out of this, they've outscored the Orioles 25-0 in the first inning this year. He's got a chance at a 1-2-3 inning. Shift on against Teixeira. 3-1 delivery, fouled off Wieters.
Yeah, he's got the kind of stuff. I'm not saying you want to continually do this, but the kind of stuff, if you do get behind in fastball counts, if he finishes his pitches, he can get it by good fastball hitters, and the Yankees have a lot of those.
25-year-old Hunter, 0-1 record against the Yankees. Picked it up this year. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and that's going to be fouled off by Teixeira, who's trying to lift one.
Yeah, that's that little cut fastball, and he gets in trouble when he leaves it out over the plate. But again, where he threw that one, he's going to get some outs, and that was up and in.
For the Orioles, Hunter's gone 1-1. His season record is 2-2. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Teixeira again, right into the shift. Wade And Adams records the out, so Hunter gets it done in a very important first inning. We'll take a look at the Orioles lineup coming up. To be revised on a daily basis with injuries. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Andino at the top. Hardy and Markakis, Guerrero, Wieters, and Reynolds. Adams, Reimold, and Angle. J.J. Hardy has some very good numbers against Burnett.
And our FC scouting report post All-Star Blues. The record of 1-1, but the ERA at 7.61. Well, nice curves. He got good stuff. Probably doesn't command his fastball as well as you'd like. But again, if his curveball is going tonight, he will be tough. And against the Orioles, 12-5, but with a pretty lofty ERA, a little bit over 4.5 runs a game. That is his record, coming off one of his worst starts. That's 5 hits, 7 runs against the Twins, and only an inning and 2/3.
So Burnett ready to go, and here is Andino. Andino goes to third base, and A-Rod can't get it. Skips over his glove. So Andino is on. Gardner will get it back in. He was playing the bunt at third, and Rodriguez was right on the cut of the grass, and it short hopped him.
Yeah, you'll see him in enough. He just doesn't catch this. And again, coming off knee surgery, ball may come up. Usually doesn't. I mean, again, he's not like he's on the lip. And again, the ball just had a little bit pop. Again, when you play, as you mentioned, Gary, you play that shallow, ball gets on you pretty quickly.
And an error will be charged. So Andino is on. Orioles get the leadoff man on one pitch, and here is J.J. Hardy with an 8-game hit streak. And Hardy will take the pitch for a strike. Let's see if the Orioles can take advantage of the early error in the game. And for Hardy, would he dearly love to get out of the funk he's in against the Yankees. He's not had a hit against them this year. He's 0 for 28 against the Yankees this season. Yet he comes in overall with an 8-game hit streak into this ball game, and he's 5 for 14, lifetime off A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, he's such a good hitter on the inside part of the plate, even though we did see him take a ball away and single into right up to Minnesota.
Now Burnett's going to be very careful of base runners here and conscious of them, because base stealers are 15 for 21 against him.
And I think that's one of what reason that Buck Showalter, Gary, what he tries to do is get a little speed on first. Andino 8 out of 10. Maybe get a fastball for Hardy, who's a great fastball hitter.
Breaking ball is a strike.
And it's a good one.
Willie Randolph down at third with the signs. Nobody expecting bunt here. They're way back in the infield. Third and short. Rodriguez and Jeter way back. Pretty good lead for Andino at first base. There he goes. 0-2 is going to be put up in the air to right field. Swisher. He's got it. Andino will get back, and Hardy's retired.
Let's take a look at our Nissan defense here tonight at the Camden Yards for the Yankees. Gardner, Granderson, Swisher. Pretty mobile outfield. Rodriguez already with the error. Jeter, Cano, Gold Glovers at second and shortstop. Teixeira, another Gold Glover, and then Russell Martin doing the catching, coming off a 5-for-5 day with a couple of home runs.
Nick Markakis with a runner at first base and 1 out. Yankees lead the season series 9-1 this year. They have guaranteed themselves another season series victory. It is the 26th time in 28 years the Yankees have won a season series against the Orioles. That pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Markakis. They play him around to center. How about that? Swisher is way over in the gap in right center field.
I think that's actually the way you should play him, and I'm not sure that Gardner is not a little bit shallow in left, but yeah, you play him a couple of steps to pull. But then he throws him a changeup. I don't understand that, and that's his third pitch. But if you're going to play him this way, Gary, what you have to really bet the ranch on is that Burnett's going to control that fastball, and if he was controlling his fastball, he wouldn't be 9-10. He's got really good stuff. The radar gun is going to tell you, and the curveball is going to be swooping, but at the end of the day, he walks a lot of guys, and you can run on him.
That is in there for a strike, and that was on the outside corner. 2-0 count. Interesting. He had a little set to Girardi coming off the mound. He exchanged words with the manager for pulling at a particular time in his last game. Girardi waited on the bench for a moment, then went down underneath to have a word with him. And Girardi was all positive afterwards. I understand he wants to win. He's frustrated, upset. Everybody else has got a problem with it, but I don't. Talking about the fact Burnett said something to him on the way out. You take a look here. Burnett's performance, as Jim said, was not a good one. Tough start, and then watch him as he leaves. Yeah. Well, the word has 2 words, and it can be hyphenated. 2-1 strike count. Nick Markakis. Andino on at first base. Another on-speed pitch in there.
So he gets behind him 2-0. Nick looks fastball, changeup, now curveball. And now, I mean, this is, again, when you have good stuff, and maybe he's going to have one of those really good games, Nick pretty much just has to sit and look for the ball. He'll throw anything in this count. Now that he's established, he'll do that.
Nick hitting .293 against the Yankees this year. A home run, 3 RBIs. Andino is running. 2-2 delivery. A swing on a miss. Chance for an out here. No. Gets by. And he's going to try for third. And he's going to make it. No throw by Jeter. That's going to be the second error of the inning. A stolen base for Andino, and an error on the throw by Martin will move him over to third base.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Derek should have knocked this ball down, but again, this is how you got to beat Burnett. If he doesn't hold him on, I mean, that ball should have been caught. It's a curveball. Nick swings through it. I mean, that's right to the glove. Either way, he's going to get to third base.
Well, the Orioles get an opportunity with 2 down. Markakis was a strikeout victim. Burnett gets the strikeout. He's also thrown 17 wild pitches. So if you're Andino at third base, you want to be jumping off the bag because you may get a chance to score here. And you can get a big lead because A-Rod is way back. Vladimir Guerrero up. 17 wild pitches. How do you do that?
Curveballs. You bounce it. You see a lot of guys. I mean, when Jack Morris, I saw him in Minnesota on Wednesday. He would have him, even though he was a great pitcher, because he'd throw that splitter, and you're trying to keep it down like that. You know, catchers tell you, hey, you know, Rick Dempsey, of course, he was terrific. He said, hey, it doesn't matter where you throw it, I'll block it. But when you bounce him, there's a much better chance, and of course, that's how you finish your breaking ball of it getting away sometimes.
Yeah. Vladdy with an RBI opportunity, hitting at .277 on the year. Andino at third base. Guerrero will take the pitch outside. You know Burnett is going to try and get him to bite on a pitch that's about 2 feet outside the strike zone, and Vladdy refused to do it that time.
Which is a little unusual because he's such a free swinger. Yesterday, a couple of hits, but one was a bloop and one was about 8 hops through the infield, but they count.
2-1 strike count on Guerrero. Vladdy towards first, and another error. Cano will save the error. They get the out. Burnett got over there to cover. Guerrero will be retired on a 1-4-3, or that would have been the third error of the inning. We honor Mike Flanagan and his life in baseball throughout our ball game tonight. They do so here at the Yard with this video. In the Orioles' winning seasons, the 1979 World Series, in which he went 1-1, had a 3.0 ERA, and worked 15 innings. It was the year in which he won 23 games, 2 more in the postseason, and a Cy Young Award winner, 1979, for our beloved Mike Flanagan. Number 46 is staying up on the scoreboard in right field throughout the ball game tonight. And the Oriole players will be wearing for the remainder of the season that Flanny patch, which will be on all of their uniforms. Tommy Hunter goes to work here in the second inning. A-Rod coming up, then Cano and Swisher. The Yankees 78-50, trailing the Red Sox by a game. And A-Rod will take the pitch for a strike. Obviously has to be some concern in the Yankees that they're going to be able to keep Rodriguez healthy for the remainder of the season. Went on the DL, came back Sunday, then didn't play Wednesday because of the jammed left thumb. The ball will end up foul in the seats. And obviously no longer 25 or 27 years old, so sometimes a little tougher to get back into games.
Yeah, I think he actually is 36. Jeter is 37 and had in a home run in 94 at bats. But again, you don't know if the knee bothered that. It was the right knee. It's the one that you load on. So, but he was not on pace, but he was having a pretty good year, and then got hurt. And that, again, you go through that. It's harder to come back at that age.
Yep. Tommy Hunter facing these Yankees with very limited at bats by the Yankees against him. That pitch is going to be taken just inside.
Yeah, that's that backdoor cutter, Gary. You throw it right at the hitter's left hip. Actually, the right hip, I guess. It's the one he hurt a couple of years ago, and hope it gets the inside corner. And it's about 3 inches inside.
Hunter with a 2-2 delivery on the way to A-Rod, and that'll be fouled back.
And that's the one he usually hit for home runs.
With the Orioles, Hunter has made 4 previous starts. He lost against Toronto at a no decision against the White Sox, beat Oakland. Last outing against the Angels, a no decision, 6-run, 10-hit, 6 1/3 inning line for him. 2-2 delivery. A-Rod will take it inside. 3-ball, 2-strike count. A-Rod asking Scott Berry, the home plate umpire, just a guess, but I suspect about how close was that, because those pitches are not far off the inside corner.
Yeah, I thought that one might have grazed him. Might have got him up on the sleeve or the wristband.
3-2 count. Everybody straight away in the outfield on him, and a towering pop-up. Shallow left center field. Hardy going back, looking for help. Reimold will give it, and will put it away. Rodriguez retired. Maryland Lottery's double play contestant for this game, Robin Dixon from Gambrels. For every double play the Orioles turn during the game, Robin, you get $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. See how to enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. You can turn non-winning double play or Amazing 8 scratch-offs into cash or Amazing O's prizes. Go to mdlottery.com/double play. Robinson Cano. He has been tearing up a lot of people, but none like the Orioles. He's got a 17-game hit streak going here at Camden Yards, in which he's hit .507, and will foul that one back. It is the longest active hitting streak in this ballpark by any major league player. It includes 8 doubles, 6 home runs, and 15 RBIs over the 17-game stretch.
Yeah, he's pretty much become the best, most complete second baseman in baseball.
Knocked down. Adams. Nice play at first base by Reynolds. Well, we're seeing some D early on in this game.
Well, you always talk about it. Pitching quickly, throwing a lot of strikes right there, just deflecting it from the knees. That's a couple today, and then Reynolds trying to get out of the way because he knows that Cano's coming down the line. But again, this is a guy that got labeled that couldn't play defensively. Worked hard on it. Orioles have one of the best infield instructors in baseball, Mike Bordick. Been a big help. And he needs to shed that label, and over the last 3-4 games, he's done a nice job of it.
Our Volkswagen Slow-Mo brought to you by the Volkswagen Autobahn All event. Hurry in before the deals run out. Here's Nick Swisher. Swisher's got a 3-game hit streak going. Swisher, 328 right-handed, 240 left-handed. He has picked up 18 home runs, 14 from the left side. That's going to be a grounder again. Anybody want to play this game besides Adams? Had a chance for the bare-handed play, and if fielded cleanly, probably would have had him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that, again, you can catch a ball with your bare hand. Again, still learning. Yesterday didn't come in on a double play ball. It still got one. But again, I think you got to backhand that, make the play, probably be a base hit because he chose to play it that way. But if you backhand it and try to make the transfer, at least you have a chance. In the words of Earl Weaver, slow down, make the play, maybe you'll get him. Doesn't run that well.
And a single is credited. So a 2-out single by Swisher is the first Yankee hit of the game. So he's got a 4-game hit streak now. Here's Jorge Posada. This Yankee lineup loaded with people who are hitting. Young and old. Jorge Posada, the designated hitter, has got a 4-game hit streak coming into the ball game. Hard to believe the Yankees, with the total numbers we were talking about earlier, could actually be picking it up offensively.
But they are.
But they are. 4-game hit streak for him, and has looked much better at the plate than he did through the first half of the season. He's come on here since the All-Star break. The Yankees really need that, as they need him in that DH role, at least for the moment. The 0-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be outside for a ball. 1-1.
Yeah, the amazing thing about Jorge is that he has 11 home runs. They're all from this side of the plate. He's always been really productive left-handed because he gets most of his bats there. But he was a natural right-handed hitter, yet has failed to hit a home run to this point from the other side of the plate.
1-1 delivery to him, shattered bat, grounded to short. Hardy to second. That's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. No score going to the bottom of the second inning. in the American League. The White Sox, Mariners, and then the Orioles. And the Yankees, amazingly, they just skip second base, either go third or all the way home. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA.
Yeah, both of these teams hit a lot of home runs. The Yankees have hit 21 home runs in their last 9 games. Yesterday, 3 grand slams, as you mentioned, first time ever. What do they have, 8 on the year now? 7 different players.
178 home runs hit. They are first. The Orioles are 5th in the American League in homers. Here is Matt Wieters. Matt's got a 6-game hit streak going, upping his average to 264, and a strike on the inside corner. Hitting .455 during the streak with a couple of home runs and 7 RBIs. And Matt had a funk coming out of the All-Star break, but that has gotten turned around. Here's the 0-1 delivery, where the Orioles hoping that all the offense they were able to find against the Twins in that 4-game sweep can be continued, as the Orioles hit .293 and were average 5.1 runs a ball game against the Twins.
And then reality tells you this is the 3rd best pitching staff in the league, and it gets even better when you get to the bullpen.
Yep.
And they're number 1 in almost all offensive categories.
Cutter's going to be inside and will get away, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Wieters. Orioles have won 4 in a row. They are looking to pick up a 5-game win streak. If they can do that, it would be the first time since May that the Orioles would have put 5 straight wins together, May 21st through the 26th. And for those fans wondering about weather-wise, there's been no change in the schedule for the Orioles at this point for this long weekend. A doubleheader tomorrow, scheduled first game at 1, second game at 7. It's a day-night doubleheader. Then a Sunday afternoon game at 1:35 and a Monday night game at 7:05. Now, it is highly unlikely all those games are going to go on the schedule, but at the moment, there's been no change. Pitches away and a 3-ball 2-strike count on Wieters.
Yeah, the way to beat the Yankees is hope Burnett has one of his off nights. They've outscored you in those 9 wins out of 10 opportunities, 82-30. So you got to control their offense and hope that you can maybe scuffle for some runs. It would be nice to have Adam Jones in the lineup, but as we said, probably won't play hoping to play tomorrow, but maybe not till Sunday or Monday.
That one up the middle. Jeter behind second base. He was shaded that way. One away. Tonight's AL Leaders brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Action-packed table games, red hot slots await at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. The home run leaders in the American League, Jose Bautista, has been able to maintain it. Somehow his pace has dropped way down, but so has that of Curtis Granderson, Mark Teixeira. Mark Reynolds is the one who's moving up, and Paul Konerko is just having a great year with 28 home runs. Here is Mark. Reynolds comes in with a 5-game hit streak. He is 4 for 7 with 2 home runs off Burnett. Did that have anything to do with that pitch?
No, that's a curveball at his head, and usually an umpire doesn't think there's any intent if you throw the curveball, but you can throw it right at his head. I think he just dropped his arm and didn't get on top of it. Let's see what the next pitch is. I'm always kind of amused, of course, as a former pitcher, when you almost hit a guy in the dome and then the next one's low and away.
Then you wonder.
That gets him going.
Yeah. 1-0 count on Reynolds. And he went outside with that one. For Mark, against the Twins, home run, back-to-back games. He liked the new ballpark outdoors. And the Orioles are hoping that home run pace that he's putting up can continue. A.J. Burnett gives them up. 23 home runs have been surrendered by Burnett and divided up between right and left-handers.
Yeah, I think on Wednesday night, the Orioles were down 1-0, and Reynolds got him going with that home run you saw over his head. Yesterday, somehow they pitched to him in a 3-1 count with first base open, right down the middle, and he launched a 3-run home run, turned the game around.
Hitting .364 during the hit streak he's in.
I would think he'd be hitting here.
But with a lineup that's weakened a little bit as far as any power in it with Adam Jones out of there, I get a feeling he might, and he might not be the only one who's going to get some 3-0 counts that he's going to go after if he gets the pitch he wants. Burnett did not give in there, and had a A breaking ball down and away, and a 3-ball 1-strike count. There's Adam on the bench and
bothering
everybody.
Yep.
And a strike on the outside corner. He is available tonight to play and hit if necessary. They would rather not do that. They want to give him the rest. So Adam will be pacing, walking back and forth, eating 1 billion sunflower seeds and driving everybody crazy. 3-ball 2-strike count. Got a hold of that one to left field. It is way back at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Another one. Mike Reynolds delivers the homer, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead.
This is the third time he's hit over 30 home runs, and again he gets the fastball. They don't hook him. 3-2. That's why he didn't swing 3-0. He got as good a hit. He probably didn't expect to, but got as good a pitch to hit, and then he launches it. He's about as strong as they come.
He is teeing up on Burnett, his 3rd home run, 5 hits, 8 at bats, 3 home runs off A.J. Burnett for Mark Reynolds, and the Orioles get the early lead.
Yeah, I really think, and you kind of alluded to, you really have to push the envelope against AJ. You have to run when you can. You have to force him to maybe change his windup and quicken it up when you get a runner at first, even maybe slightly above average runners. And you just got to force him to get out of his game, and hope he's not having one of those.
Back to the gap in right center. Ryan Adams is going to pick up an extra base hit. He's on his way to second base. Swisher will get it back in. And Adams has got a 5-game hit streak as he continues to impress, trying to earn himself a job the next year.
Yeah, got called up on Monday, and he's had a series of these pitches, and he's hit him. Again, 94, but it's in the middle of the plate. He doesn't miss that pitch. He had a bunch of those type of pitches. You know, the scouting report, hey, try to stay away, try to stay from up and out over the plate, and that's exactly where Burnett throws it.
He's had consecutive 2-hit games since being called up, and in his first at bat in this game, he's got a double. And that'll bring up Nolan Reimold. Buck Showalter. Obviously a very close eye on these players who are going to get a chance here in the final month of the season to show what they've got. Cano will hold the runner close. Reimold will take a breaking ball that is in there for a strike. Ryan Adams is a threat to go if they give him a lead out there. Cano's trying to make sure that doesn't happen. He's moved way over towards the bag.
Yeah, you like to have him out of position.
Reimold swings at that one. 0-2.
Yeah, he's had a 6-game hitting streak. Jim Presley, the Oriole hitting instructor, say until you get to 2 strikes, which is the situation here, hit on your terms. Work balls outside the plate, maybe sit on a breaking ball. He's done a nice job of that. And again, when you start hitting, that usually means you're getting good pitches to hit and you're not missing them.
Reimold 3 for 10 off Burnett with a home run. 2 strikes, 1 down, runner at second base. Reimold on the foul ball, off speed pitch again from A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, the emergency hack. Try to stay alive.
The other thing with Burnett, Jim, is that, I mean, he's fighting for a position now in this rotation for the remainder of the year and for the postseason. He's had a really bad month of August, which is historically true for him. And there's some issue about whether or not he's the one who should be in there.
He did not pitch in the first round of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Because he ended up being 10-15. Did not. I mean, horrible numbers over the last 2 years in August. Finally won one. I think he came in like 0-11 or 0-9.
He had an 0 for 14 stretch in the month of August that he was able to get out of with a victory over Kansas City 2 starts ago. But the numbers for Burnett are just way up. Take a look at the pre and post All-Star break numbers. He's got the greatest differential, second only to Trevor Cahill, of increases in ERA between the first and second half of the season. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Reimold. Adams off second base. And jockeying to force Cano a little closer. 1-2 pitch up high.
Yeah, they just try to quiet him down. I know Larry Rothschild talked to him. He said, listen, just pick the leg up. He has a tendency to swing it. When you swing it, it's like a gate. Sometimes it opens a certain way, and the next time, it's just hard to be consistent. But again, in this inning, what we've seen is lack of fastball command, and it's hurt him.
Reimold with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he will step out.
Yeah, Ryan Adams does not run very much.
And a little rain coming already. Gee, what a surprise.
It's the winds that I'm worried about.
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down. Reimold check swing, and he held up on that. And it was close.
Yep. Was it ever? I think he just gets fooled. Of course, he saw the first 2 pitches. You look from this angle. Yeah, maybe just a little bit low, especially over that front knee. And a lot of times, again, our umpire behind the plate, Scott Berry tonight, that's what he's looking at. It's not where you receive the ball. It's where it goes in relativity to your knees as it crosses the plate. But I'd want it.
3-2. Adams off second base. Reimold will foul that one back. Well, Nolan battling here against A.J. Burnett, trying to force the pitch count up as well as get himself a good pitch to hit. Yeah, the Orioles want to jump on the Yankees here in this game. One, Burnett's got some pressure on him trying to maintain his position. The other, it was a very long day yesterday for the Yankees, even though they won it 22-9. They had an hour-and-a-half rain delay. The ball game itself took over 4.5 hours to play. Kenny Singleton was telling me not only did they hit 3 grand slams in the game yesterday, they had 16 at-bats with the bases loaded. That is unheard of in a baseball game. 13 walks surrendered by the Oakland pitchers in that game. Reimold, here's the 3-2 delivery, and that's ripped. That's going to be a base hit. That'll get a run in. Adams will turn. He'll score. Reimold's going to go. Ball being bobbled in left field. Gardner will get it in. RBI double for Reimold, and the Orioles with a 2-0 lead.
Boy, what a great opportunity for the Orioles. They got a guy just throwing them down the middle, right down the chute. You got a hot hitter, now 7-game hit streak. This is a totally different hitter than we saw a week ago. And again, Jim Presley saying, hey, stop thinking, react. Have an idea. And there goes Ryan with the second run, a couple of doubles.
Well, Reimold with the 8th double of the season and the RBI, and that will bring Rothschild out to the mound. We honor our beloved broadcast partner and Oriole great Mike Flanagan throughout our broadcast tonight. We'll be showing you some of the highlights from his outstanding baseball career. A very somber, quiet day here at the ballpark for everyone at the warehouse, in the clubhouse, on the field, just out of respect to Mike. But he had one of the driest, greatest senses of humor that anyone could ever have, and that has been repeatedly talked about since his passing. And it is one of the things that if you knew Mike, you most loved and will remember about him. A-Rod is in at third base, Matt Engel up. Speed at the plate, Reimold on at second.
Yeah, when you talk about Flanagan, I mean, so many people that know that I knew him, and of course with one of his teammates have either called or texted, because they are sharing our pain.
Yes.
Jim Cott, one of the great left-handers, one of the great guys in baseball. He was up in Vermont, and he won 286 games. He broadcast for the Yankees, network television. He said, every time I was in Camden Yards or Memorial Stadium, I'd stop to say hello to Flanagan. He said, not only did he make me laugh, he was a visionary.
Yes.
I mean, just had a different view or a unique view on everything that he could talk about. And he said, he was the first guy that said, boy, left-handers, like Jim Cott didn't know this, left-handers think a little differently. He said, you got to have a right-handed pitching coach and a left-handed pitching coach out in your bullpen.
2-0 delivery on the way, and a chopper. Teixeira's not going to get that one. That's going to score another run. Angle with great speed heading to second base. Here's Swisher's off-balance throw. Not in time. 3 consecutive doubles, and the Orioles have a 3-0 lead. Angle the RBI.
Well, what would Flanny say? Give me a couple of doubles. Right here, you got another one. Fastball down the middle again. Because of his ability to bunt, He was 0 for 13. He did get a bunt base hit. He chops it over to Scherrer's head. Swisher, nice little play, but too much speed. And there comes Reimold.
And there's another first. That is the first RBI at the major league level that Engel has picked up. And he gets it with a bouncing double. He has tremendous speed out there at second base. Here's Andino.
Yep,
there he goes. Oh, what a jump. Throw by Martin is a good one, but he's underneath the tag.
Yeah, and if it was a little bit better, Jerry, they might have caught him. One thing when you have a right-handed hitter and you're Russell Martin, you don't want to throw it away. You have to watch Andino. He's right there. He doesn't get out of the way. So, again, if the throw's down, he's probably out. But because it's up, and again, right there, A-Rod Alex can't quite get it. And so the Orioles doing everything you should. And all of a sudden, 3 runs here in the second. Now the infield's in.
That's his first major league stolen base. Now the RBI chance, Andino. 1-0 count, 1 down. Infield, as Jim said, is all the way in, all the way around. Andino will take the pitch.
The amazing thing is you do this, and this is not a second guess of Joe Girardi. They didn't even hit in the 9th inning yesterday. They get 22 runs. They were down 7-1 going. 20 of those runs came from the 5th through the 8th. Yet they're going to try to take a run away here.
Yep.
And then if Andino gets on by getting the base hit because he's got a better chance, all of a sudden he's going to steal second. So it's a very calculated risk. He does throw more ground balls and fly balls, but
not a great predominance, though. Huh?
No, yeah, just
kind of a split.
Yeah, 54%. It's not like 2-1 or anything like that. And now, of course, you let him swing here. Good fastball hitter, young hitter. You don't want him to have to hit a curveball.
And he takes. You have real speed, but of course at third base, Engel does not have to go. He can stay right there on a ground ball.
And it's such a luxury. We've seen Robert Andino learn to play different positions, learn to hit right-handers a little bit better. He wears out lefties. Runners in scoring position numbers coming up. Here he's trying to hit a fly ball.
3-1 delivery. He lifts it in the air. That'll get a run in. Swisher going back. Swisher looking. That's going to come off the wall. That's going to be at least a double. Andino at second, and he's got a 2-bagger. Reynolds started this with a home run, and since we have had 4 consecutive doubles, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, the only thing wrong with this, it should have been a triple. He slices it, and he doesn't run. And he's right about now realizing, well, maybe I better get to second. No kidding. There comes your 4th run. Engel, who had hit the hot chopper for a double.
Boy, you take a look. The runs scored in the first 2 innings, the Yankees 181. The Orioles 115th are 9th in the American League, even including the 4 runs they have put up on the board so far in this second inning. And in trouble early is A.J. Burnett. That's 4 runs on 5 hits. And the pitch will be taken by Hardy. Hardy flied out to right field his first time up. Now, of note, he allowed 5 hits on July 29 against the Orioles, and all of those were extra base hits. In the game he pitched on the 29th, he gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in 8 innings. That ball is going to go deep to left center. And goodbye, home run! J.J. Hardy, a 2 RBI homer. It is 6-0 Orioles.
Fastballs and then the hook. They all end up at the same place, middle of the plate. And J.J. knows. He's not going to show him up by not watching it. He just puts his head down, but he knows it's going out of here. Great park to hit in, loves to hit here. Got a great pitch to hit.
And Burnett getting hammered. That's ripped foul by Nick Markakis, the 8th Oriole to hit here in the second inning. As the Orioles, 2 home runs in the inning. Reynolds and Hardy. Doubles by Adams, Reimold, Engel, and Andino. Yeah, after Wieters grounded out, everybody else is hit. Markakis will take it up high.
Well, he's going to. AJ's going to get a lot of things tested tonight. When you give up 5 hits and 7 runs and then are upset that your manager takes you out, it doesn't matter what he said. He's going to make a point here.
There's nobody in the bullpen.
No, and nobody's getting up. It's a 5-game series, even though you might have some rain.
Burnett's got to play this and bobbled it and an error. A.J. Burnett could not pick it up. And Markakis is on.
You know, Gary, you could see that coming. You can get brain dead real easy. I don't care how long you pitched, how much money you make, when you're getting hammered like this. Not an easy play, except you got to just pick it up off your back foot, which he tries to do. He's kind of looking at Markakis, looking at the ball, and there's your result.
Our Suzuki game flow. Otto's all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. The Orioles doing something they have done a little of this year, and that's have a big offensive outburst early in the game. And here in the second inning, they have batted around with Guerrero, the 9th, to come to the plate. And they have taken a 6-0 lead.
And we know you got to get all you can get against the Yankees. And they hit 6-0. Again, they were down by 6 runs yesterday, scored 22. This is another running situation.
Guerrero. He'll chop that one foul at the plate. Vladdy, a 1-4-3 ground ball out.
I mean, I really think Nick stole 9 bases talking about Nick Markakis. If you think you can make it, there you go. What did Brian Bowlings threw 65 pitches yesterday?
Yeah.
The 65 in 1 inning.
Yep. So the Yankees are having happened to them what they did to the A's yesterday. 0-1 count. And a strike on the outside corner. It is raining. See the head-to-head this season. Batting average. Distinct difference. Runs per game enormous. First inning runs, the Orioles none. Yankees 25 in the ERA 6.5 to 2.7. The Orioles trying to undo all of that here in this ball game tonight. And we're getting the rain a whole lot earlier than anybody thought. Guerrero chopping to short. Jeter. Cano. Relay. And got him. So we'll turn the double play, but the Orioles have the big inning. Home runs by Reynolds and Hardy. 4 consecutive doubles, and the Orioles have a 6-0 lead. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. 6 runs, 4 earned in that second inning. Number 46, Mike Flanagan, being honored and remembered here tonight. We will throughout our broadcast, as the Orioles are doing in the ballpark tonight, with highlights from his career and the remembrances of our beloved broadcast partner and great Oriole pitcher. Tommy Hunter's got 6 runs to work with as we go to the 3rd inning. Russell Martin. And a strike on the outside corner.
Coming off a 2 home run day, 5 for 5, 6 RBIs.
Martin's got a 3-game hit streak going. Game yesterday set all kinds of marks. His 5 for 5, grand slam, 6 RBIs. The second catcher in Major League history to have done that. Throw to first, Hunter, and he got him. Martin is retired. 1 away, 3rd inning. Tickets are still available for both games. Tomorrow's separate admission day-night doubleheader. We hope you'll help to paint the park orange. Game times are 1:05 and 7:05. You can get tickets at 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Now, the Orioles, there's a statement that's been issued. This is really funny. I'm going to take time to get through all of this and read a lot of it regarding the both teams. Everybody feels we're not going to get all these games in this weekend. However, Orioles Yankees acknowledge that fact. However, there is a disagreement on the sides as to how to make games up if necessary. The two teams unable to find common ground on a makeup date. The Orioles would play doubleheaders on Sunday and Monday, or have a doubleheader on one of those days and then make up the final game of the series September 8th, which is a mutual day off. The Yankees have said no to that option. Here's Gardner batting foul. The Yankees, however, don't want to deplete their pitching staff with back-to-back doubleheaders heading into the opener Tuesday night against Boston. Let us all cry there. They also don't want to have to come back to Baltimore on September 8th, their only day off. Their preference is to play a doubleheader, today, but the Orioles didn't want to give up a weekend home game against the Yankees. So they couldn't agree on that, about playing a doubleheader today. So Curtis Granderson, the player rep for the Yankees, and I quote, "Given the advance notice and the fact that other teams have adjusted their schedules ahead of time, we are perplexed at the current options we're being presented with in regards to making up any games postponed due to Hurricane Irene." Gardner down the line and headed to the seats. Granderson went on to say, "The proposition to take away our only full off day in the month of the season is not an option, even though the Orioles front office and the commissioner's office think that is an adequate solution. It's a shame that the decision has now come down to possibly having to play 4 games in 2 days or having to come back to Baltimore for another makeup date." So they have not agreed. They could not reach an agreement on what to do if the doubleheader or one of the games tomorrow gets rained out.
Well, wait a minute. Is he a lawyer? Perplexed?
And that is out of the Baltimore Sun, by the way, that story. Jeff put that together today. Jeff Zrebeck, who's the beat writer. So they're not happy. And you know who could care less? Buck Showalter. In fact, the fact the Yankees aren't happy, nothing makes him happier. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Gardner. The Yankees proposed playing a doubleheader today without consulting the Orioles and made it public. And Buck was fuming today.
As he should be.
Who do they think they are? What are they doing proposing a schedule change without consulting us? It's our home game. And he was furious. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That ball's going to be popped up towards center field. Angle is there to haul it in, and Gardner is retired, and there are 2 down. So for fans, it's for everybody. I mean, this storm obviously creating havoc everywhere. And how these games turn out is just going to depend on what Mother Nature provides. It is raining here. This is not part of the hurricane rains. This is a front coming through from the west, apparently, and is not supposed to be severe and should clear out here without a whole lot of rain and hopefully not affect the game. Here's Derek Jeter, grounded out his first time up. Flanny would be sitting over there going, "Isn't that nice?" That is sweet. A 1-0 count. Jeter with a 4-game hit streak, grounded out his first time up, and will take the pitch down low.
Well, I can certainly, with them in the pennant race, understand where they're coming from, but that's just not the way it works.
No. Sorry, I said that it's not supposed to rain hard. Because it is. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and Jeter will foul it back.
Yeah, Derek coming in, 28 for his last 57, so almost hitting 500 in the last 13 games. Ever since right before that All-Star game, where he had coming off the calf pull, he's been red hot, about as hot as you can be.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. I don't know how many times he can do it, but Jeter looking, that shot went right into the seats about the third row, and he wants to make sure everybody's all right, and I don't think they are.
And it ricocheted all the way out into right field, so
they're calling for help. So he'll be checking in on that. It was a long way down the line, but that ball was hit so hard.
Well, then what happens also, Gary, is that you could be sitting behind somebody and you don't see it, and they realize how hard it's hit, get out of the way, or there's a deflection. I mean, so many ways. You want to be close to the action, but it can be dangerous.
So we'll hope. 2 down, nobody on. Here's the 2-2 delivery by Hunter, and that will be outside. He was watching it go into the seats. He knew that ball was stung. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Tommy Hunter has given up just the one hit. Going for the 1-2-3 inning here, and he got it. On the inside corner, Jeter is called out on strikes. Hunter gets his first strikeout. And the Orioles, going to the bottom half of the third, lead the Yankees 6-0. Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, the network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. Flatty loved to do this date in history because he'd go back through his magic book that had everything that ever happened in the game and come up with all kinds of notes. Well, this date in '79, complete game win over the White Sox on his way to a Cy Young versus Oakland, 1991, July 13, first inning in relief in the last Orioles no-hitter. And October 6, 91, he struck out the last two who would come to the plate at Memorial Stadium. Ground ball out by Wieters. The strikeouts for Flanny as he came on, to the delight of the sellout crowd, would be against Dave Bergman and then Travis Fryman. And how appropriate, Flanny would record the last out at Memorial Stadium. And he loved it, coming out of the bullpen to do it. The ball that's it right there that he signed. And it's now here at the Baseball Museum, which is right next to the warehouse. And we thank them for making that available. The autographed baseball on the last one thrown at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, I was doing that game, and of course then afterwards all the players congregated on the field. I mean, one of the greatest things about that Memorial Stadium was not just about the Orioles, it was about the Colts. Johnny Unitas threw out the first pitch to Brooks Robinson. I mean, a lot of sentimental people there, and a lot of sentiment, because when I got here when I was 19 years old back in 1965, the Colts were the #1 team, and they had one of the best teams in the NFL. Some of the best players. They lived here, had restaurants here, bowling alleys, a major part of the community. And the great thing about the Colts is they kind of led the way for the Orioles. If you're going to live in a community, be part of it. And of course, Flanny did that. Just so many of the Orioles have made this place their home.
Here's the 2-0 delivered to Mark Reynolds. Reynolds delivered a home run, his 30th solo shot, second inning. Mark now has a 6-game hit streak to go along with, as Jim said, reaching the 30 home run mark for the 3rd time in his career.
Yeah, over 41 of those times.
He's got a shot at that. Long shot, but he's got a shot at it.
Well, when he gets hot, he gets hot. And again, you're going to play. This is after tonight. There'll be 26 of your remaining 33 games against the American League East. So some pretty good pitching. Doesn't mean you can't hit it in there, right there. I'm sure they had a little confab on the bench. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, and A.J. Burnett, and said, "You're going to have to make some better pitches." And he did not do that in that 6-run second inning.
So he will try and settle it down. No walks, 2 strikeouts for Burnett so far. And Ryan Adams coming up against him. He delivered a double and would score one of the Oriole runs in that 6-run second inning. The Yankees have committed 3 errors in the ballgame. And as a result, 2 of the runs in the second inning were unearned. And Adams puts that to center field. Granderson will come in a little bit, and he's done it. And that is the game of baseball. You go through a 6-run, 6-hit, 9-batter second. Retire the side in order the next time you go to the mound. At Gate E from 5:30 until 8. 100% of the proceeds will be split between UNICEF to benefit tsunami victims in Japan, the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation Memorial honoring Shannon Stone, the fan who passed away in that tragic accident at the Rangers ballpark, and the Habitat for Humanity of Chesapeake. Auction items, lots of player gift baskets, game dues, memorabilia, and more. For details, you can go to OriolesReach.com. And the rain is all but let up, at least for the moment.
Yeah, all it does is get the playing surface a little bit wet, especially on balls on the grass.
Orioles put the shift on against Curtis Granderson. Yeah, Granderson grounded out.
Yeah, they keep Mandino in just enough, and I mean, he could still drop a bunt down, but when you got the kind of home runs he has, you probably look forward to that.
Yeah, let him bunt.
But they need base runners, and this is what they do better than anybody else. They have the highest on base percentage. They lead the American League in walks. You mentioned home runs.
That hit him.
That's all they need.
Inside.
Yeah. Well, they're off to the races, so You get speed. They're not going to run on a wet field, down 6-0, but it does open up a hole. We'll see how they play Mark Reynolds. You would imagine they'll hold him on because of his speed.
And tonight's Subway game flow about the outburst by the Orioles in that second inning. 6 runs, 6 hits, as they were able to get the 6-0 lead. Now the job is to hang on to it, and that's up to the 25-year-old right-hander Tommy Hunter in the D behind him. Hunter with a leadoff man on. It's the third batter he has hit this year. Mark Teixeira grounded out his first time up. Two good throwing catchers in this game. Matt continuing to be up there among the leaders, throwing base stealers out at 32%, and Martin's right behind him at 31%. Granderson walking off a lead at first base. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him, fouled away. Continues with that tremendous uppercut.
Well, he drops his backside, and that can get him in trouble. I mean, it's still very productive, Gary. I mean, all you have to do is look at the, the 35 home runs. Batting average not where he wants it, but again, 98 RBIs.
Producing 21 homers at Yankee Stadium, 14 on the road. In the air to left field, Raimo going back. That's playable. Granderson will go back to the bag. Teixeira is retired. Today's Baltimore Grand Prix Masson 3-day pass winner, Anthony Howells of Baltimore. Anthony, you get 4 3-day passes to the Baltimore Grand Prix. Streets of Baltimore at 180 miles an hour. The Baltimore Grand Prix, September 2nd through 4.
Have you seen the walls and the fences?
Can you miss them?
No. Well, that's a good point. Kind of gets me driving a little faster.
Well,
but
I was just going to say that. It feels like you're on a racetrack. Well, you are.
Feels like you're driving Rick Dempsey.
Well, that's the same difference.
Yeah,
you need some walls.
He doesn't need any walls.
Yeah. You get in that car, you better have your insurance up. That will be fouled off by A-Rod. He flied out to left field his first time up.
Yeah, again, not a lot of at-bats. In fact, Hunter had only had a couple of appearances. Thinking about Tommy, and 0 for 5. And boy, you'd love to get sharply hit ball, but right at one of your infielders and go grab some pine, as Hawk Harrelson says. Get in there and sit down. Actually, it's cushion.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. Good breaking ball away. And a 2-strike count on Rodriguez.
So let's see. Right hip, right knee, thumb. Getting a little bit older. And what A-Rod has to do, number 1, prove he's healthy. Number 2, do what all players as they get a little bit older. That you can still do it.
Yep. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Chopper to first. Nice glove. Reynolds. And got the out. As Hardy's able to hang on to the bag. And again, the D providing support.
Well, good pitch and even a better result because Mark Reynolds has found a home. Home on the range, not Texas. Boy, I tell you what, easily could have gotten into right field. We saw Engel do it, pounded over Teixeira's head. What a play.
Isn't it amazing how he's moved over there, and reluctantly so when he went to first base a bit. I mean, he was going to do whatever the team needed, but he wasn't sure of himself over there. And he has been spectacular.
He really has. I mean, throwing, catching, short hops.
Here's Cano grounded out his first time up. And Robinson Cano will take that one for a strike.
Man, he takes a long look at that outside corner.
For Cano, a 16-game hit streak. Oh, 1 count. And he will foul that one away. So Hunter able to move on him, 2 strikes. Cano part of that grand slam hitting group yesterday. He, Martin, and Granderson all had grand slams. That is a new single season major league record, 3 grand slams in 1 ball game. Also tied a major league mark of 3 players with 5 or more RBIs in the same game. 2-strike count on Cano. Rips it foul.
Well, there's that little cut fastball, and again, if you get it in, he can't do anything but that. And what the hope is, and it's a little bit more difficult because this guy's a lifetime 300 hitter with great place played, well, maybe not played discipline, but the ability to hit any pitch. Doesn't walk a lot, only 28 walks, but he can hit it anywhere and he can drive it anywhere.
Cano, ground ball to second base, got jammed on that one. Adams to go and get the out. A busy Ryan Adams at second base. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on base. The Orioles lead at 6-0. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local dealer. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and our crew here at Camden Yards. Maybe a 5-game series, maybe a hurricane.
Well, it's going to be a hurricane
of one form or other sometime during this weekend. Here's Nolan Reimold. He'll foul it back. We remember Mike Flanagan tonight. We'll continue to do so throughout our broadcast.
And you look at that scoreboard, if you just tune into it, it's again 6 runs, 6 hits. And what did Flanagan used to say? Try easier. I know that A.J. Burnett was not trying easier when he threw the 4 consecutive doubles and a couple of home runs in there. And, you know, because the tendency, the grip pressure gets a little bit firmer. And that's, you lose movement, location. And again, early on, I mean, he's made some really good pitches. He just made, and it happens, a series of 5 or 6 pitches in the middle of the plate, and the Orioles didn't miss him. And that's what happened in Minnesota. They really hit well there.
Reimold, 7-game hit streak with a double in the RBI, and they fouled it off.
It was almost like, Gary, when they got to Minnesota. Now, they did have the 13th worst offense, 12th worst pitching. They got out of Anaheim. It has the best pitching in the American League, and it was like a big sigh of relief.
Understandably so.
Yeah, exactly, because they can pitch.
Finally set some pitches you could hit.
Yep.
And Burnett did that in the second inning, gave the Orioles some pitches they could hit, and they did. They play Reimold to pull. Granderson moved over to the gap in left center field, and he pops that one up the other way to first to Sherrill. 1 down. Our minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Tyler Townsend out of Frederick, the first baseman, 66 games, Class A, hitting a very solid .319. A long, extended look at someone who might be involved with the Orioles infield. Got 13 home runs, 24 doubles, so he's had some extra base hit pop in the year. Matt Angle up.
Yeah, they play him to pull. It's kind of interesting. Cano in the hole, and then Teixeira still playing in. He hit one right over his head, bounced it into right field, because he was holding a runner on him. And, you know, again, the speed game. I think he's trying to take away with it. Now with 2 strikes, Alex Rodriguez will move back a couple of steps behind the bag. He was in on the grass.
Angle getting rid of all those wonderful firsts. Collecting consecutive 2-hit ball games. Stolen base, RBI. double in this one. And the pitch is going to miss outside. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Tonight's Masson mobile word jumble is on the screen now. Text jumble 29292 right now to play tonight's game. Unscramble the word correctly. You're entered to win great Orioles memorabilia. Stay tuned. Masson games all week long for more chances to win. Here's the 1-2 delivery.
Now you can tell why they play shallow. I mean, he in 1,630 at bats in the minor leagues in about 5 years. He hit 7 home runs. He's a flea. That's how you describe him. Well, that's kind of a nice way to.
It's a compliment.
Hits a lot of hits. Soft hits.
1-2 delivery. Inside and a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Matt Engel. You love to have this kind of player playing for you, and if he's playing against you, you detest every minute of it because you cannot understand how he possibly continues to get those kind of hits. But he does, as he can make contact and move the ball around. That is going to be swung on a miss, but he's going to make first base. Martin's got no play.
And he knows which pitch to swing at if he's going to strike out, the one that bounces. There's your wild pitch, number 18 on the year. You alluded to it early. Again, good pitch, but you bounced it. And I don't care what catchers say. They're tough pitches because you don't know how to spin. You don't know if it's going to have that overspin and go up. You don't know if it's going to stay down. And Russell Martin, pretty good catcher.
So Engel is on him.
Yeah.
Engel reaches first base on a strikeout. Third for Burnett. First wild pitch. And here's Andino. He doubled in a run and scored in the second inning. Has also reached on an error. So he's raised the havoc at the top of the order that Buck Showalter hoped he would. He is now 4 for 14 with a home run off Burnett. And he will foul that pitch back. And a 1-strike count.
You're wondering if Joe Girardi's going to pitch out here. You just think at some point you're going to run. 6 runs is not enough against the Yankees. You hope it is. But you can't stand pat. And if you think you can run, you'll be running.
Martin looking over into the dugout to get the sign. 0-1, runner not going. Andino will chop that one foul. Burnett came back inside on him. Talking about all these wild pitches, he's now at the top of the pile, 18, well ahead of Trevor Cahill and Felix Hernandez. And as we said, he's also hit 7 batters, so he's had the ball all over the place. 2-strike count. He has 151 hits and 156 innings coming into the ball game.
And then 70 walks.
And 70 walks, so a lot of people on base. Andino had a reach for that and fouls it back.
No, you look at his runner and scoring position numbers, not too bad. They get him a lot of runs. I mean, it's not like he's one of these guys like Jeremy Guthrie that's getting under 4 runs a game. He gets almost 5.5 runs a game. So again, it's just a sum total of things.
27th start of the year. 21st career start against the Orioles for Burnett. He started on the 13th of April, gave up 4 runs, 7 hits, won the ball game 7-4, pitched 6 in the 3rd. Then the last start, July 29, 4 runs, 5 hits, 8 innings, and took a 4-2 loss in the ball game.
I will say this, Brian Cashman, a lot of people were second guessed that he should even be starting. He went to bat for him.
And in the dirt, and here's a nice stop made by Martin to hold the runner at first base.
Well, you did hockey. I think he's going to get that feeling. I had nights where when Rick Dempsey would think he's going from the first to the 3rd floor, he's going up and down and whatever. And right here, I mean, there's going to be some kick saves tonight. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's not an easy night with Burnett because of his stuff. And again, 3/4 balls running, bouncing, cutting.
This is the night where those pads that the catchers wear on the back side to kind of sit on really come in handy because you don't have to get all the way down into that crouch. You can kind of sit on those pads. It's a little softer and gives you a little more bounce there, and he needs it tonight. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside.
Yeah, a little changeup. He needs to stay down, so there it is. And
when he goes into the crouch, you're almost right there. See, you're actually sitting on those, and it just provides a little better leverage. Takes a little less out of your knees, not a lot. The catcher's knees, it always amazed me how people can catch at any level for years and still have any knees at all. 2 ball, 2 strike count. 1 down, runner at first base. Andino takes it, and he's worked him.
He really has.
Burnett looking in like, where was that?
Well, it was up, and again, you're down 6-0. You want pitches. I don't blame him. But that ball's high. And you know he'll be running. You know that you have to frame the pitch. You know that if you throw him a fastball, that's what he wants to hit. So I would imagine it'll be something other than that.
Another changeup. 3-2, runner goes and walked him. So the Orioles have runners on at first and second base with 1 away in the 4th inning. Your favorite birds are back with their favorite dogs and cats. The 2012 Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines. 15-month calendar featuring your favorite O's like Nick and Adam, Matt Wieters, and more. Proceeds benefit the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter, Barks. To get your calendar, 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. He's a good old boy.
They're Basset Hounds. We thought they were Bloodhounds.
Yeah, Basset Hounds?
We did some. And they are Bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, almost got him. Little change up because he hit a curveball. It's the only breaking ball that's been hit tonight. And he hit it out of here. Yeah, Basset Hounds. And we had them on the West Coast. Bloodhounds looking for pitching.
Basset Hounds?
Then we found out they were. Well, no, the Bloodhounds would have been. But now Basset Hounds are just your best friend.
Your best friend.
And he's got 3 of them.
Well, clearly, if you listen to the dog show, they have to have been bred for something. The Basset Hounds. That's going to get away and moving up to third base. Angle. Another wild pitch.
Yeah, he does it the right job. And Andino, again, you got to look at the runner. Check him right here. Is he looking? Right here. He just freezes, and it's too late.
So now first and third and 1 away. And Martin going out to talk to his pitcher, while Joe Girardi just watches. He's thrown 76 pitches.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to run here, even though Andino can run because, again, Burnett doesn't hold runners very well. I mean, a lot of pressure because you have speed at third and first. I mean, you can't afford to give up another run.
Hardy's had a home run, his 25th, 2 RBIs picked up in the 2nd inning. He's now 6 for 15, lifetime off. Burnett 6 for 16, sorry. And he's got another RBI opportunity. Infield double play depth. Here's the 2-0, and that'll be fouled off. Came back inside on him. For Hardy, the long ball season continues. 7th home run in June, July, August in Orioles history. You see the home runs picked up in those months. Boog Powell, 7 or more. Frank Robinson, Eddie Murray, Rafael Palmeiro, and J.J. Hardy. 9, 7, and 7 in home runs in those months, June, July, and August. The 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's going to be down low, and again in trouble. 3-1.
I remember when Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs, he said, I kind of learned from Palmeiro. Just got to hit 6, 7, 8 a month, and you got 50. Or in the high 40s. And I go,
be consistent.
That sounds really easy.
Yeah. A lot of people try that.
Yeah, and they pop up, but Brady did it.
J.J. Hardy. See if he gets one to hit here. Martin set up away. 3-1. He did, but it's going to be to short. Jeter's got it. And a run will score. And the Yankees defense is floundering in this game. There won't be an error. You never assume a double play, but there should have been one right there. Instead, they get a fielder's choice and an RBI for Hardy.
Yeah, 3-1 count. They do not start Robert Andino. All he has to do is catch it. And again, it's a wet night. Can't get it out of his glove. And there's your run. JJ gets an RBI. The Orioles get that 7th run. And again, when you play the Yankees, you take every one you can get.
It's a 3 RBI night for J.J. Hardy, 63 on the year. So one shortstop to another on that one. And here's Nick Markakis. Markakis has reached on an error and has struck out. 285. 5th in singles in the American League coming into this series against the Yankees. 2 down. And Nick will take it outside for a ball. He's had 1 hit in his last 16 at bats after the 8-game hit streak was ended.
where he almost hit 500.
Yeah. He hit 457 during that hit streak of 8 games.
And we really on the West Coast saw him attack the ball. I mean, he was slicing the ball to left with power.
Burnett stays away. They're playing him that way again with Granderson moved over to left center. Swisher, the right fielders, in the power alley and right center.
And that's great to do. I mean, what you're basically saying, I'm going to pitch in one way, defense in that way, and it's great if you make your pitches. And you go back to the 6-run second inning. He didn't do that.
And that pitch is taken away.
Yeah, he's trying to establish that changeup and not having a lot of luck doing it.
82 pitches worth of trying, and Burnett has given up the 7 runs, 6 hits in the ball game. And I think you were absolutely right earlier, Jim. Girardi's taking a long look here. Burnett's going to work his way through more than one jam in this game before he comes out.
And that's really what you expect of a 34-year-old pitcher, that, okay, you had a bad inning, you'll be able to mentally and emotionally and physically figure out what you're doing. And whether it's 6 innings or 6 runs or 2 runs or 3 runs or whatever, that's what you have to do to be good. You can't have a mental meltdown. If you do, well, you really let your club down.
Burnett, consistent righties, lefties. 257 the left-handers, 253 the right-handers. 2 righties have had home runs in this ball game. Reynolds and Hardy. And he's given up 12 home runs to left-handers, 10 to left-handers, 15 to right-handers. Here's the 3-1. Marquez foul tipped into the mitt of Martin, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you're going through all the numbers this morning. I mean, he's not good on the road. He's got, he's 1 game under 500, 3 and 4. He's given up over 6 runs a game. Yankee Stadium, it's a pretty tough place to pitch. He's 6-6 there with an ERA a little over 4 runs a game. That was Larry Rothschild, his pitching coach, looking at it.
Marquez 3-2 down, runner going at first base, and Nick will take it, and a call strike. So 4 strikeouts in the ball game for A.J. Burnett, with the Orioles add another run. Mike Flanagan, we remember our great cohort, the native of Manchester, New Hampshire, 3rd-generation baseball player, and one handsome kid, don't you think? Wireless Network. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and our crew here at Camden Yards. The Orioles opening up this hoped-for 5-game set, a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. 1 o'clock, 1:05 actually first pitch, and then 7:05 at night. It is a day-nighter, so separate admissions for the games, and that will all depend on Hurricane Irene. Here is Nick Swisher. Swisher will put it up in the air to center field. Angled. Swisher retired after singling his first time up, went away 5th inning.
Yeah, a little high chopper that couldn't be handled, and right there, first pitch, And one thing about Tommy Hunter, he's not afraid to throw it over. I think one of the things that one of our keys to the game tonight, our absolute key to the game, was command and not stuff, because the radar gun looks pretty good when he pitches almost all the time, because he's got a power arm. He's made some pretty good pitches tonight, and that's what you have to do against the Yanks.
It is Jorge Posada. And he rips it in the air to right field. Marquez going back, looking up, and that's going to hit off the wall. No, goodbye, home run. Made it over that first wall, and Posada continues hot. Yankees on the board. That's his 12th home run.
All left-handed. The Yankees, obviously better offensive version of the Orioles, but they do the same thing. You make a bad pitch. There's the target. I think we got to get a little bit to the corner, because he throws it pretty much where the target is, and he hammers it. That's why it is so important to be able to put that glove out of the middle of the plate, unless you're maybe throwing a breaking ball, or you're going to pitch behind fastball count. Maybe you're just trying to get something over.
Well, the Yankees get their first run. That is just the second hit. Swisher's single and Posada's homer are the only two hits off Tommy Hunter. That is the second home run surrendered by Hunter since joining the Orioles, and makes it a 7-1 ball game. Martin grounded out his first time up, and a strike taken. Hunter has walked none and struck out one.
And we've seen the velocity go up after the home run a little bit. Apparently doesn't like to do that.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, and got him. So comes right back. Gets the strikeout called on Martin. 2 down.
Yeah, pretty simple. High fastball, kind of thigh high right on the outside corner. Scott Berry behind the plate tonight. I've not seen him umpire very much. He's done a nice job. Very consistent. Makes you throw it over. Probably fair to both pitchers and hitters. But we saw some, and again, everybody has a different style. We saw some pretty one-sided, either pitcher umpires, maybe hitter umpires on that 9-day road trip.
Brett
Gardner. More? Actually, it was 10 days. Right? It seemed like
it was long.
But it seemed like it was about a year after what went on Friday or Wednesday.
0-1 count on Gardner. Now the Orioles with a 4-game win streak, which they picked up in that 4-game set, first sweep ever against the Twins out there. For Hunter here at Camden Yards, this is just his 4th career start. He's 1-1 in games here, 5.3 ERA. 2 career starts against the Yankees, both with Texas, and has an 0-1 lifetime mark against them. He gets that pitch in for a strike. He's kept the hitters off balance in this game.
Yeah, not a great curveball, but again, he's mixing them up. And we saw it out in Oakland. He won a game in Oakland where he struggled in the second inning, gave up a couple of runs, hung a couple of changeups, and really made some nice adjustments.
And Gardner's going to go down swinging, foul tipped into the mitt. So Hunter comes away with 2 strikeouts in the inning, even though Posada delivered the home run. Remembering our partner Mike Flanagan tonight at Camden Yards. Skipper.
It's not something, that you are ever going to easily put behind you. But you know, going in there with, I was talking to Kenny today about you know, last homestand. Mike brought this can of Oriole pine tar from 1960. He found it at a flea market or a. I'm not sure exactly where he ended up getting it. He or his wife had found it and brought it in, and it was sitting on top of my desk there when I got back last night. First thing, I don't think I'll ever go get a cup of coffee back there without thinking about it. But no, it hadn't got any user, and I'm not trying to lose that emotion. Okay, it's not something I'm trying to figure out a way to get around.
He was in the office today. Buck had that can in his hand, looking at it. Said, I was going to open this, just see what it was like. We said, now I'm just going to keep this. And it was, Mike loved that sort of thing. He loved baseball history and any kind of quirky thing related to the game.
Well, we were all part of it, and I think he understood that.
Yeah.
You know, and against what Jim Cott said, he had such a unique take on things. And you know, Buck was talking. He said, you know, also is Alex and Mike, they raise bees and have honey. He would bring it la dulce vita. He said, he called his wife, and he said, Angela, you still have that honey? He said, don't use it. Just keep it.
Put my jar away today, actually.
We all have one.
We all have
guys
one.
in attendance in the car parking. You know, what's so amazing. Everybody says, I'm sorry for your loss, and it's all of our loss. That's
right. That's exactly right. Vladimir Guerrero get into a double play and has grounded out. Orioles with the lead. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. A.J. Burnett a walk and 4 strikeouts in the game. Tommy Hunter, the opposing pitcher, the Orioles starter, hasn't walked anybody and has struck out 3.
Yeah, this is exactly the score yesterday that Oakland had over the Yankees. And they scored 20 runs between the 5th through the 8th. Didn't bat in the 9th. So try to get more. That would be my message.
They also set a mark in that. They matched the major league record for the largest winning margin, which was 13 runs, by any team that had trailed by at least 6 runs at some point during the game. And there were only 2 other teams ever done that. The Philadelphia A's in 1913 and the Brewers in 1990. Burnett. Oh, look at this. Yep. Guerrero's got an infield single. Chalk it up.
I told him get a couple more softies, but also hit some hard tonight. Well, he hadn't done that yet, but this will work. Not a bad pitch. And again, Orioles score 6 in the second. AJ made some bad pitches. Also got a little bit lucky. Didn't help himself with an error, and that can't do anything about that. Make a good pitch, bad result. But Vlad's going pretty good result for me.
Take that infield hit any day. So Vladdy's on. Orioles get the leadoff man on here in the 5th inning. Orioles with the leadoff man on 2 out of the 5 innings. Burnett retires 69% of leadoff batters coming into the game. Matt Wieters 6-game hit streak. Matt looking to move Guerrero around and stay out of that double play.
Man, your charge is try to throw a 2-seamer down away. Maybe he'll roll over. They hold him on, even though he doesn't run very well. Well, there is a little bit of an avenue in there. There a little change up.
Little 9-iron.
Yeah, he tried to gently loft it somewhere.
Matt is hitting just over 200 against the Yankees this year. This is a team that's really held him down at batting average. He's had 1 home run against them.
And again, until you actually look at the numbers, Gary, as you know, and we do, you don't realize they're pitching as well as they are. Yeah. I mean, there's some exceptions.
0-2 delivery, not going to hold him down on this one. That's in the corner. Vladimir Guerrero running with the big strides. They're going to wave him home. Here's the throw coming from Cano. Martin there, and got him. Vladdy was just a little short on the slide, and Martin reached around and caught the foot. Cano, the relay throw from Swisher.
Yeah, Swisher had to make sure he caught it because it kind of hangs around in that little cove down there. And then right here, I mean, you know, he Throws him a changeup or a curveball. It's in the middle of the plate, right down the line. I don't think I would have sent him here with nobody out, but he does. And right here, watch Cano come into the picture. He does so many things well. And look at this tag. I'm not sure he was out there.
I think he was safe.
Yeah, I mean, watch the foot. Nope, he got him. Yep. Yeah, from that angle, definitely out. And again, we told you about Scott Berry. He's done a terrific job at home plate. Got the call right. What a tag by Martin. And on the play, though, good base running. Because Wieters all the way to third base.
The infield again is in. And they will move closer on the pitch. And here is Reynolds in our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. He ripped it, his 30th of the year in the second inning. Our Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And now a chance for another RBI for Reynolds with a runner at third base. Wieters is not fleet of foot, so you know he's not going to go on contact. He will, however, get as far off third base as he can, aware of the now 19 wild pitches that have been thrown by Burnett this year.
Well, 149 strikeouts, and Burnett's looking for the 150. I mean, that's what you have to do here. But it's hard to do it when you get behind 2-0.
Reynolds on a check swing, went around. Home plate umpire with a call on him. Reynolds with 29 homers, fourth in the league coming into today's play.
You know, the time of the game where you just cannot, trailing by 6, afford to give up another run. So you got to take some risks. And that might mean 3 straight breaking balls, even though you're into a hitter count.
2-1. Wieters off third base. And there is a breaking ball, and it's in for a strike. A lot of pacing by Girardi tonight as he's watched Burnett throw 97 pitches. The Orioles 7 runs on 8 hits. The Yankees a run on 2 hits. The Yankees has committed 3 errors. And the Orioles, as a result of it, have 2 unearned runs. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Reynolds started to chase. Did he go? Nope. John Hirschbeck, crew chief at first base. While Reynolds has struck out 149 times, Curtis Granderson, the Yankee center fielder, is not far behind him, 135. They both trail Adam Dunn, but not by much. Dunn 153 Ks. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Infield stays halfway in. And that's to second base. Runner not going. Cano stabs it. 2 down. Our Pep Boys game flow. Pep Boys does everything for less. Call 1-800-PEP-BOYS. The Orioles getting 6 runs, 4 earned on 6 hits in the second inning when they batted around and have kept that lead. Jorge Posada, the homer, the only run for the Yankees. So now 2 down. Ryan Adams a double, and he is flied out. Infield can back up with 2 away.
Yeah, and you're going to see a little different pitch selection, I would imagine. He's thrown him 2 fastballs in the middle of the plate. He lined out to Granderson, and then he doubled up the gap the first time up. He's proved to me he can hit the fastball.
Off to a flying start.
Yep, a little changeup. And the thing about AJ, he's got 3 pitches. So again, the curveball. I mean, when he gets that over, tough to hit because again, it's like a snapdragon. You know, big guy, 6'5", a lot of motion on the mound, a lot of finish to his hook.
He'll take it away. But Ryan Adams this year, 283 with the Tides, 37 RBIs. He played 39 games at AAA. Recalled from Norfolk on Monday for a look-see. Positions available. So be heard. Doug Showalter is watching and listening.
Yeah, the injury to Chris Davis, that right shoulder. That's why Reynolds at first. Otherwise, he'd be across the diamond most likely.
Check swing, 1 around. Scott Berry with a call at the plate and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Wieters on at third base. The Orioles have had 2 hits in the inning. Guerrero started it with a single. He got tossed out at the plate just barely. on that 9-4-2 play. Guerrero's got more numbers on the score sheet in his column than anybody else. 1 ball, 2 strike count. That'll be fouled away. Guerrero's got an out on a 1-4-3 in the first time up. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play the second time up. Got thrown out at the plate 9-4-2 his third time. That's more numbers than you get for an entire game in box score. Vladdy would just as soon that last group wasn't there.
It's almost like an international long distance.
It is, isn't it? Call 1-4-3, 6-4-3, 9-4-2-1. And get absolutely nothing in return. There's Waiters. Here's the 1-2 coming to Adams. Another breaking ball. 2-2.
Yeah, a little better eye. I mean, that's a pretty good take right there.
Big house on hand here tonight. A little rain for about an inning. That has gone bye-bye. Doubleheader tomorrow. 105, 705. Day-night split doubleheader. Irene permitting.
There are a couple of lefties for the Orioles.
2-2 delivery. He is hanging in there. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report returns on Monday, 5:30 right here on MASN. Join Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, and Phil Wood. They'll take a look at what's going on around baseball, live look-ins from the ballpark, interviews, and much more. The Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, Monday, 5:30 on MASN. Sports Legends Museum, you saw behind the warehouse on the other side from the ballpark. We thank them for the help they've given us in honoring Flanny tonight. Some of the items we're showing you. Pitch is going to be taken up high, and the count is full, 3-2. Another thing you got to like about Adams, he seems to know how to work an at bat.
Well, Buck Showalter was talking about it. He said, listen, he's a very, very proactive hitter, very relaxed, not a lot of. That's what he's got to do on defense, and we've seen that. It just looks like he's pretty calm. I mean, stays inside the ball about as well as any young hitter I've seen come up out of the Oriole organization, and he's an up the middle type of guy.
3-2, 2 down, and he's on. And again, Burnett with a stare in of where was that, and Martin held on to the ball for a while. Now turns around to the home plate umpire and is talking to him.
Well, it was high. You always want pitches. But again, he's not calling it. It's out of the zone. I mean, it's a great take. I mean, the ball's up out of the zone. Anytime a catcher brings his glove down 3 inches, you know it was a ball. And Russell Martin's been around long enough. He's just saying, hey, where was it? How high was it?
Now the warning to the turned over to the Yankee bullpen there. Heard enough. Yankee dugout, rather. Here's Reimold, first and third, 2 down. Nolan, he's got an RBI double, and he's popped out. Another one in the dirt. Runner going to try and go, and will. Another wild pitch. That's the 3rd wild pitch of the game and the 20th on the year for A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, I talked to Kenny Singleton, who does a lot of the Yankee games, most of them, and I said, what about Burnett? Their numbers aren't that bad. He said, well, he walks a lot of guys. He throws home runs, doesn't feel his position. You can steal on him. He throws a lot of wild pitches. And I go, well, that's why he was 10-15 last year on one of the better teams in baseball, and that's why they get him a lot of runs, and he's 9-10 this year. I mean, the camera doesn't lie.
Here's a big opportunity. 2 RBIs sitting out there. Reimold will take it away. The Orioles on the road trip really pumped up the numbers with runners in scoring position, hitting .360. That's a big time number.
And he's got 109 pitches, and still looking for that 15th out. And the Orioles trying to go run hunting here.
First call to the bullpen the Yankees have made. 2-0 count. Reimold, and a strike on the inside corner. Good pitch. That's not a location Reimold wanted to go after.
Yeah, that's a great point, Gary, because that is what Jim Presley said. When you get into the hitters counts until you get to 2 strikes, dissect that play. And either inside half, outside half, inside 4 balls, outside 4 balls.
Luis Ayala warming up in the bullpen. 2-ball, 1 strike count. 2nd and 3rd for the Orioles, and Reimold to right center field. Swisher's not going to get it. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Waiters will score. Adams will score. Going for a triple. Reimold, and he's got it.
And Brett Gardner's closer to backing up than Burnett. Tell you what, Nolan Reimold again is now, he slowed down the process by being selective. He gets a great pitch to hit. This is Nolan Reimold of 2009, confident. You know, a guy, as Terry Crowley used to say, can drive the ball without trying. He's so strong.
So Reimold having himself a big night. He's got 3 RBIs in the ball game, a double, triple, and 3 at-bats. The Orioles now have 9 runs on 9 hits off A.J. Burnett. And for Reimold, he's got 28 RBIs in this his 60th game of the year.
And if Teixeira wants to play Matt Engel deep, I wouldn't be surprised if he lays one down.
Engel has doubled, struck out, and reached on a wild pitch on the K. He will take that. Is in there for a strike. A-Rod is even with the bag. Rest of the Yankees are back, outfield, in, especially in left and center.
Yeah, if they said this game is over, I'd say, okay, I'm not going to bunt. I'm not going to steal the base, but it's not over. They're not going to go away. They got another 12 outs.
And Engel could really drag one here, Jim.
Oh, yeah, and he's been working on
way back.
Yep. Wayne Kirby, his Oriole first base coach, gets the younger players.
You saw Engel sneak a little peek right there to see where the first baseman was.
All you got to do is beat the pitcher over there if you get it down.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, and it's on the inside corner, so not bunting, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
If he's going to play in the big leagues, and I don't know how much he's going to play when we get Adam Jones back, but what he's going to have to do, that's going to have to be an integral part of his game plan offensively. Getting the ball on the ground.
114 pitches thrown by A.J. Burnett. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled away. Well, Burnett coming off the outing in which he gave up 7 runs on 5 hits in just an inning and 2/3. Has gone much deeper into the ball game, the 5th inning here, but he's given up 9 runs on 9 hits. 2 of the runs are unearned. Reimold at third base. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Engel takes, and he's gone. So Burnett will come back and get the strikeout, his 5th of the game, but the Orioles add 2 more runs and lead the Yankees 9-1. Two outstanding plays. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Earning a position at second base, or a look-see certainly. And he's been a very busy player. He recorded 3 assists in the first 5 batters in the ball game today, and you saw 2 of those were tough plays.
Oh yeah. And again, this is such a game of momentum, and early on, obviously before that second run inning, they want to have some momentum coming off it, 22 runs, and then all of a sudden Ryan Adams they get some not easy outs, but some important outs, because every out against the Yankees, because of their ability to score runs, is important.
I'll get it. Here's Derek Jeter. Jeter has struck out and grounded out. Orioles leading it 9-1. And let's not lose Tommy Hunter in the mix. He has given up only 1 run on 2 hits. A Swisher single in the second and the home run by Jorge Posada in the 5th. He has not walked anybody, and he has struck out 3. He has been on. Here's the 0-1. Jeter to first and foul.
Well, another thing, Gary, and a lot of times I'm not trying to make excuses. He won 13 games last year for him, 13-4. They got him a lot of runs, 6.75 for the year. Talking about the Texas Rangers. Serious groin pull, missed spring training, went out on rehab. He started in rehab, but when he came back, he was in the bullpen. So it takes you a while. This is pretty much spring training.
Yeah.
I don't care how big.
Start.
Yeah, I don't care how big your arm is and how strong you are. You still have to get into a rhythm, and when you get in shape, the ball comes out of your hand differently. And hopefully that's going to be the case, because to me it was a tremendous acquisition. You got Chris Davis, who can hit home runs when he's healthy, can play all over, first and third. Had to give up Koji Uehara, but again, sometimes to get good young players, which you need in your organization, you have to give up somebody.
And Hunter's kind of a throw-in.
Oh yeah. Except if you know baseball, he's not. Yeah, he's
exactly.
He's got a chance to be a good pitcher.
It is a great second player in a deal where he kind of goes unnoticed. Here's Curtis Granderson. He has grounded out, been hit by a pitch. And Granderson will take the pitch down low.
And then, I kind of read, Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer, president of the Rangers, saying, boy, I'm worried about some of my pitchers because they're going to get fatigued. Wouldn't you like to have an extra guy? But then again, you wouldn't have Koji Uehara. So sometimes to get somebody, you have to give somebody up.
Towering pop-up. We'll give you all the details in a minute here, but both games tomorrow have now been postponed. So the doubleheader scheduled for tomorrow, both games have been postponed, and we'll update you on the dates here and realignment. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Granderson goes the other way, and that will end up in the seats off a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, what he's been able to do, not every time, but a lot of the times, is get ahead of the Yankee hitters. Otherwise, they have such good discipline. And when you get ahead of them, better chance of you pitching on your terms. Otherwise, they dictate the terms, and that's not a good thing for pitchers. I don't care how good your stuff is.
He has been outstanding in that regard. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. Granderson fighting off some pitches. And what a great pitch that was. Jammed him inside. 4 strikeouts.
Well, what did we talk about? Cutter crazy. Well, go crazy. There's one, just a cutter. Again, it doesn't have as much spin. Appears to be a fastball, and it just comes in. He just got it under his hands. The key to the cutter, don't throw it for a strike, and he didn't.
That'll bring up Mark Teixeira. 2 down, nobody on. Hunter has retired the side in order in the first, in the third, and has an opportunity to do it here in the 6th. The Orioles have had very few 1, 2, 3 innings this year against anybody. 1-0 delivery down to first base, and it's a foul ball. Just missed going over the bag. And Teixeira with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. .245 average with 35 home runs. Picked up 119 hits so far on the season for Teixeira.
Now, you don't pitch this well against the Yankees if you don't get a little help behind the plate. Matt Wieters has really mixed them up. And again, it's nice to have a pitcher that you can mix them up with that can throw them over.
He executes.
Yeah.
Teixeira is a .260 hitter in this ballpark. He's had 9 home runs here at Camden Yards. 2-1 delivery on the way. There's a major pop-up. Leader's coming back, and it'll be behind the screen.
Yeah, change up in a hitter's count. That's what you want to do. It just puts doubt in their mind.
And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here's Hunter's 2-2 delivery. The first, gotcha. Oh, wow. Little snow cone there. Mark Reynolds hangs on. The third 1-2-3 inning for Hunter against the Yankees. Orioles lead it 9-1.
Out of the Yankees book. 6-run second inning. It starts with Reynolds' home run, his 30th. Right there, Matt Angle, one of 4 doubles. And then J.J. Hardy, curveball. See you later. Gone. So there it is. Big 6-run inning. They add a couple of more on 2 occasions. Again, Hardy with home runs, Reynolds with home runs. Hunter setting the pace tonight. He's been outstanding. No walks. Using all his pitches, only 2 hits. One of them, of course, the home run by Jorge Posada. 9-1 Orioles.
A.J. Burnett is out of the ball game, and Luis Ayala will come on to do the pitching as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning.
The third best bullpen in the league, and this is another reason. Again, 2 runs in his first 2 innings, and since then a 1.32 ERA, 37 games. He'll come in to try to keep it exactly where it is. He's been around. He's pitched with Montreal, Washington. I think he blew out his ulnar collateral ligament, so had to have Tommy John surgeries. But again, used to be a hard thrower, a good sinker, and a slider.
Well, the Orioles will try and add to it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order, Andino, Hardy, and Markakis. Andino's got an RBI. Hardy's got 3. Reynolds has 1 in his homer. Reimold's got 3 RBIs, and Angle's got an RBI. And a strike taken. Andino a double, a walk, and has reached on an error. Ayala against the Orioles this year. This is his 4th game. He's worked 3 1/3. The Orioles have gotten a run on 8 hits against him, a walk and a strikeout. And Andino will take the pitch inside, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Again, now we're going to repeat this throughout because so many people need to know. Both games tomorrow have been canceled. The doubleheader tomorrow is canceled. And we'll update you on makeup dates and when they're going to try and get him in. Jeter. Andino's retired, 1 away in the 6th inning. That'll bring up J.J. Hardy. Hardy's added to his home run totals. Number 25, a 2-run shot in the 2nd inning. He's got a 9-game hit streak now, and he has a 3 RBI ball game.
Boy, the way he's played, one of the recent great trades. Jim Hoey, hard throwing righty. Brett Jacobson. Twins did need him. He'd gone to Japan to get Nishioka, who had been hurt, broke his leg, hadn't played well, back spasms when we were there. And JJ, totally different player.
Expectations exceeded by miles and miles.
He's back to where he was in Milwaukee. 24, 26 home runs. Plays hard, makes all the plays.
Martin gets rid of the mask and makes the catch. All right, here you go. Now, the doubleheader tomorrow has been canceled. No games tomorrow. Our next telecast is going to be a doubleheader on Sunday. Game 1 at 1:30. We know we'll be televising. The second game at 7:30. We're not sure we'll be televising yet. So please check your local listings for that one. Then the makeup game, September 8th, the time of that game to be announced. So a doubleheader Sunday. No games tomorrow. And a day-night doubleheader on Sunday. Then the other game will be made up September 8th. And September 8th is an off day that these two teams had that the Yankees did not want to surrender and did not want to do, but that's when it's going to happen. So it won't be another doubleheader. It'll be a single game.
Yeah, I think there's some rule. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is about consecutive days, but they have they just had an off day right before Oakland, so I think that's how you can get that game in, and they don't have any recourse.
Yep. It'll be a 4-game series against the Orioles. Orioles play them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and now adding a Thursday game to that. And the pitch is taken for a strike. So Nick Markakis, he's 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 strikeouts. A.J. Burnett, 5 innings, 9 runs, 7 earned on 9 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs against him. It is the 4th ball game where Burnett has given up 2 home runs, and he has another game in which he gave up 3 against Tampa Bay this year. And his home run total is now up to 25. And a walk surrendered by Ayala to Markakis. 1 on, 2 down, 6th inning. Vladimir Guerrero, an infield base hit in the 5th inning. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Guerrero 2 for 3 lifetime off Ayala. They're not going to hold the runner at first, figuring Markakis is not going to run here, and Teixeira is playing behind him.
Well, that doesn't mean you shouldn't run.
No. I mean, this is done, I'm assuming, on the unwritten rule. You don't run when the score is 9-1 in the 6th inning, but I agree with you, Jim.
They got 22 runs yesterday.
You run.
You do. You just never know. If they're going to give you second base, you should take it.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to throw at one of our guys, you got more to lose. I mean, it really did. I know in the old days you wouldn't run, but it's changed.
Well, the scores have changed. You're absolutely right. I mean, the chance to have big innings evidenced yesterday what the Yankees did with the 22 runs after being down by 6.
Of course, you'll never ever be able to read Buck Showalter.
No. 0-2 delivery right at Cano. He's going to bobble it, and no play anywhere. Now that's a hard hit ball, but Cano was moved over there, and he got the ball straight up.
And it's right at him, though, so it's going to be their 4th error of the night. And Jeter had one he couldn't play. They got another run that should have been, well, it wouldn't be an error, but they didn't turn the double play. But that's a straight error because you're standing right in front of it. And again, this guy won a Gold Glove last year. Very, very good. But the scoreboard sometimes causes you to lose focus. Not supposed to be that way, but how often are the Yankees down 9-1 unless maybe they're playing the Red Sox?
That is the 9th error charged against Cano. Jeter's also committed his 9th error in the ballgame. And that ball's in the air by Waiters, maybe taking advantage of it. Back is Gardner. Gardner up. Goodbye, home run! Matt Waiters with a 3 RBI homer on an at-bat that comes because of a Cano error. And a 12-1 lead.
Shannon in New York. 3-run shot here. A little fastball out over the plate. Wieters with great power. He's been heating up from this side of the plate. And right there, what, about 364 feet off a couple of fans' hands, and he gives Brett Gardner back his glove.
14 home runs, Matt Wieters. And the Orioles, 12 runs on 10 hits. And all 3 of those runs and anything else scored in this inning will be unearned. 0-1 count, 2 down. Here's Mark Reynolds. He's homered. One of the 2 hit in the second inning. Reynolds and Hardy off Burnett. Now Ayala gives one up. Here's the 1-1. Out in front of the off-speed delivery and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Ayala surrendering his 3rd home run in 44 innings work this year for Luis Ayala. Reynolds a 1-2 and a swing and a miss. So Ayala's out of there, but the Orioles are going to get 3 runs. They do it on just 1 hit, an error, and a walk, and leave nobody on. Number 46, Mike Flanagan tonight. Flanny, 141 wins, 5th most in O's history, 3rd most innings pitched, 2,317 and 2/3. And he pitched 56 games against the Yankees, more than any other team that he faced in his career. And we remember Flanny tonight, the 46 on the scoreboard all night long. And the Orioles flag out there flying at half mast, and underneath our broadcast booth, his number 46.
Well, you want to read, if you have a computer, go on ESPN.com and read Tim Kirchin's article. You know, Tim, one of the great baseball writers, was here. And, followed the Orioles when Flanagan was here. Just when you're ready to cry, just read it and you'll start laughing.
It is about Flanny at his best, with that magnificent sense of humor that was written about in that story. Orioles up, going to the 7th.
Yeah, one of the great stories that Tim tells, Flanny did get on base somehow in 1979 in the World Series, and Jim Fry, who was coaching first base, and went on to manage Kansas City, the Cubs.
Center field, hit long by A-Rod at the wall, and goodbye home run. So Alex Rodriguez delivers the long ball, and he will end his 2nd longest streak at the major league level without a home run.
That's the first home run in 97 appearance, number 627. And there's your cut fastball, and of course the target's in. It's right down the middle, and this is what A-Rod does so well when he's healthy. Hits the big fly. But Jimmy Fry told Mike Flanagan, he said, hey, get a lead, put your left foot, keep it on the bag, and try to get that right foot out there as far as you can. In other words, don't get picked off.
That'll be fouled away by Robinson Cano.
Well, you're getting the idea why you need as many runs as you can. I mean, the Yankees can hit, and again, it's a testament to how good Tommy Hunter has pitched, or how well he's pitched to this point. And the problem is, and the difficulty is, that you have to do it for 9 innings. They get 27 outs, and it can be tough 27 outs to get.
Cano fouls it back. A-Rod, with all the injuries, time off, just his 14th home run this year, his 53rd RBI, but it is just one, and the Orioles still have a 12-2 lead. Cano with the 0 for 2. We're in the 7th inning. Foul back. Bullpen active again. Now you'll see the bullpen really can be used. I mean, the managers know there's no baseball tomorrow. Doubleheader Sunday.
I mean, the good thing for Tommy Hunter, I mean, he's into the 7th inning, only 82 pitches. That's how efficient he's been.
Here's the 0-2 to Robinson Cano, and swung on and got him. No, foul tip, sorry. Leader's unable to hang on as it went down to Mother Earth there in a 2-strike count.
It looked like he might have been able to hang on, and a lot of times, of course, the rule is you got to catch it before it hits the ground, and apparently he didn't.
2 strikes again. That'll be a base hit. So Cano continues his hit streak in Baltimore, his 18th consecutive game with a hit in this ballpark, and overall has a 17-game hit streak. To help ease downtown traffic as the Grand Prix approaches, the Orioles encourage fans attending the Blue Jays series Tuesday through Thursday to carpool or take public transportation if possible. As an added incentive, all fans who present a valid MTA pass at the Oriole Park box office before any of the 3 games will get $5 off any regularly priced ticket to the game or any remaining home game. For details, latest on road disclosures and alternate routes, go to Orioles.com/Grand Prix. Swisher, whoa, Utah Street. Goodbye home run. Nick Swisher, 2 RBIs.
Well, you stop making good pitches, they start hitting. This is what they do. And you watch this pitch again. It's a fastball. Cano down the middle, Cutter down the middle to A-Rod. High fastball, and Nick Swisher all over it.
19 home runs and 74 RBIs for Nick Swisher. Adair will go to the mound. It is now a 12-4 ball game. 2 homers and a single in the 7th, and the tank of Tommy Hunter maybe close to empty. Adair's up to throw.
Yeah, we talked about the injury and the lack of strength training. So again, you lose stuff, you lose command. The Yankees take over, at least offensively.
He has pitched 6 2/3 innings in 2 games against the White Sox and Oakland since coming over to the Orioles.
In that White Sox game, I didn't do the game. Mike Flanagan did it, but they got a couple of doubles opposite field, and he had a 4-1 lead going in that 7th inning. So everything up this inning, and that's not the way you want to try to get the Yankees out.
Jorge Posadas had his 12th home run. Will stand in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, and that will be played by Reynolds, and Hunter gets over. 1 away in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Robert Andino, he's learning what a third baseman does. He comes in. Tommy Hunter, not that hot tonight, but humid, about 85 at game time. He comes over, just make sure he gets his wind back, throws the ball in, and cha-cha, that's what I'm calling Robert.
Cha-cha.
He said, why? Cha-cha. I said, I don't know Orlando Cepeda. You're both from Puerto Rico. He's in the Hall of Fame. Maybe you're heading there. He just laughs at me. Yeah, for a visit, yeah.
Here's Russell Martin. And a strike on the outside corner. Martin has had an 0 for 2. He has grounded out, been called out on strikes. Big crowd on hand. A lot of Yankee fans in town will be disappointed at the cancellation. No games tomorrow. The doubleheader tomorrow has been canceled. There will be a doubleheader Sunday, 1:30 and 7:05. Down to third. Andino's got it. And we'll get the out. 2 down. Our Haynes game flow has been about the Orioles' big second inning when they got 6 runs, and they've added to it a run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 3 more in the 6th inning. Yankees have come back here in the 7th with 3 runs. They've had 3 home runs in the game: A-Rod, Swisher, and Posada. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner is flied out and struck out. Gardner down to third. Andino. Whoa! The bag got him. Good play. Reynolds again. Something about first base and Reynolds just go together. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. Patriot, whom we have lost, Flanny, number 46, Mike Flanagan. And Jim and I tonight, unbeknownst to us, 2 of his 3 daughters are here at the ballpark and came in to say hi to us. I mean, what do you say about that? It's just so great to see them and to see them here, and that they would take the time to come in. It's just wonderful.
Well, it really was. And you know, they came in to thank us for...
Thank us.
Yeah, saying nice things about Mike. You know, people don't, you know, he was, I mean, I just knew him, and, you know, we kind of, he came, I'd been in the big leagues, I guess, probably 8 or 9 years, and, you know, I had been mentored by Robin Roberts. It was such a pleasure to have Scotty McGregor and Dennis Martinez and Mike, and be able to help them. And then, you know, we would have had 2 left-handers pitch tomorrow, and that would have been Britton and Madison. One of my biggest regrets is they didn't get to have Mike Flanagan help them, because he was one of the most caring guys. You know, there was always a little part we didn't know, but he gave so much, you know, whether it's trying to resurrect this franchise. And I don't think people realize how hard it is and the nerve it took to take on the task of trying to compete with the Yankees, and he was willing to do it.
Yep.
And I think he felt he was a failure.
No.
And we all know that's not the case.
No, and I've said that publicly, and I said that to Mike. I said, you know, failure is when you don't try.
Exactly.
You didn't reach the goal you wanted to reach. That is not failure. You did everything you possibly could. It wasn't where you wanted to be in the end, but that's not failure. And for 46, he took it tough because he cared. He cared about the Orioles. He cared about that he didn't get to the end result of the wins and the team he'd hoped to have on the field, but there was no failure involved in that. Ryan Adams up as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Orioles leading the Yankees by a score of 12-4. Adams has had himself a night with a double, a walk, 2-run score. Out of the ball game, Tommy Hunter, tremendous job for the Orioles, and Corey Wade's going to be the 3rd pitcher used on the other side by the Yankees.
Yeah, so another youngster that comes up. This will be his 25th appearance.
And got that one on the inside part of the plate to left. Gardner is there, however. Adams is retired, one away. As a proud partner of the Baltimore Grand Prix, the Orioles, in conjunction with MLB, have moved the start time of the Thursday game against the Blue Jays from 7 to 12:35. All tickets and parking dated September 1 will be honored for the new 12:35 time. If you have any questions, 888-848-BIRD. That's coming up Thursday, 12:35 game rather than the night game. And the pitch taken for a strike by Reimold. Reimold, a double, triple, popped out. 3 RBIs in the game. Nolan now has a 7-game hit streak. Ayala worked just 1 inning and was charged with 3 runs, none earned, on 1 hit. That was the homer by Wieters, but it came after the inning should have been over. 12 runs tonight. That is a season high, tied with the game against Toronto. And Reimold went around on that, couldn't hold up.
Yeah,
1-2.
Corey Wade will throw a breaking ball and a curveball. I was watching one of the Yankee games when I wasn't broadcasting, and he gets the bases loaded, goes 3-2, and drops off a hook. Well, he started the year in the Tampa Bay organization, and then was a minor league free agent. Kind of tells you what kind of pitching they have down there, and then the Yankees signed him. Worked his way through AAA, and now one of those guys that can pitch the middle innings, long man.
Orioles have seen him only once. He's worked 3 innings against the Orioles, a run on 2 hits, a couple of strikeouts. Popped up to Martin, and Reimold is retired. 2 down, 7th inning. Yankees heading out, starting this game on a road trip that will include at least hopefully 4 games here, depending on the weather. I guess it can't now, can it? It's 3 games here. We'll have tonight, 2 games on Sunday if all goes well, and then the game on Monday. No games tomorrow. The doubleheader tomorrow has been postponed. A doubleheader on Sunday.
Yeah, the Yankees, what, they play 17 in the next 23 games on the road? And they're, 37-24 coming in today.
Good road record.
I think that's second in the American League to the Red Sox.
Better at home, of course. The Yankees 41-26 at home, where they have powered the ball. That's where they've had a majority of their home runs. 103 home runs at home, and with the home runs hit tonight, 78 on the road. Curtis Granderson will get underneath this one. He's got it. That angle is retired. Quick 1-2-3 inning by Wade. We go to the 8th inning. The Orioles lead by a score of 12-4. When driving, be alert for pedestrians from the State Highway Administration. Willier on to do the pitching. Great night for Hunter, who's got a chance to be the winner.
Yeah, only the one bad inning, and he had a 12-1 lead when that came around. So there is Willier. They pick him up because, again, the Orioles coming into this game, the highest earned run average in the American League, looking for guys that can throw strikes, and he can, and he's got pretty good stuff. Got like 4 different pitches, and he's only given up. This will be the 6th game. He's only given up runs in 1 out of the 4 games, and that was actually a backup cutter to his former teammate Torrey Hunter. Hit a solo home run out in Anaheim.
Outstanding work by the bullpen during the road trip. They had an ERA of 2.54. They gave up 8 earned runs in 28 in the 3rd innings that they worked during the road trip. Air against Jeter, and the pitch is inside. Jeter's had an 0 for 3 in the game. 32,762. 32,762 the announced attendance tonight. Jeter, the 1-0 pitch to him. That'll be in the air to center. Hit hard. Angle going back. Warning track. Wall. Can't get it. It'll bounce off the wall and him. And Jeter's got a double and a 5-game hit streak.
Oh, he told you again. I mean, he came in, he almost hitting 500. And right here, just can't quite get to it. Over the outstretched hands. This park plays so small. And again, you can't stay in the middle of the plate. Tommy Hunter was able to do that, stay out of it, make great pitches. And then all of a sudden, the 1 inning, and that was a 3-run 7th inning. He made some hitters' pitches, and they make you pay.
Jeter hitting .420 in the month of August. He has the highest batting average in August of anyone in the American League. Curtis Granderson grounded out, struck out, and been hit by a pitch. Granderson down to first, a foul ball. Well, the Yankees trying to come back. The Yankees averaging, coming into this game, over 8 runs a ball game against the Orioles. Now the Orioles were getting only 3 runs per game in the 10 previous games, of which the Yankees had won 9.
And Buck Showalter has to figure out how to get 6 outs out of his bullpen.
There with an 0-1 count. And Granderson will take it on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, Curtis Granderson, he comes over. He's struggling last year. Kevin Long gets the hands behind him. They make a complete batting change in the middle of the season, and it paid off.
Granderson will foul that back, hitting .277 on the year. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Tonight's candidates: Hardy's had the home run, a 3 RBI night. Matt Wieters has picked up a 3 RBI homer, a double. He has scored 2 runs. And Nolan Reimold, he's had a 3 RBI night with a double and a triple and a 2 for 4. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 518-62. Granderson, the 0-2 delivery.
Hey, on the one big change, as you mentioned, he still does strike out, but he's hitting lefties almost as well as righties. He leads all left-handed hitters in the American League with 13 home runs, 23 against right-handed pitching.
And the number is only a point difference. 279 lefties, 278 right-handers. That one's right where Hardy was playing. Got him. Jeter will move up. Granderson is retired, 1 away in the 8th inning. Michael Gonzalez in the bullpen for the Orioles.
Yeah, his last 7 batters struck them all out. Told him why we were waiting for the bags last night. I said, you know, you've got to let somebody hit the ball every once in a while. And I think he thought I was serious.
No, you don't have to.
No,
you don't.
Now Nova was going to start tomorrow, but those games have been postponed. So this might be just a little throwing program.
Pitch is inside, did not go around on it. Carapazza, but Carapazza down at third. Teixeira's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Jeter's at third base, swinging strike, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Mike Teixeira. Teixeira 242 at home, 250 on the road. He has used Yankee Stadium to his blast ability, 21 home runs at home and 14 away.
And he's looking for another RBI just to close in on 100. Has 98.
98 RBIs with a batting average of 244 is pretty darn good. That'll be down to first and foul.
And he knows with the infield back and an 8-run lead, I mean, they'll concede the run to get it out. Moliere thinking maybe, just maybe, because I have the count in my favor, I can get a punch out here. Try to strike him out somewhere.
He's had at least 30 home runs now for 8 straight years. Mark Teixeira. Here's the 1-2 delivery. And that'll miss outside on the off-speed pitch. There with a 2-ball 2-strike count. Jeter at third base and 1 out. Shift is on against Teixeira. 2-2 delivery will be popped up to left field. Should get a run in. Reimold. Jeter will tag. Reimold's throw will come all the way through, but not in time.
Pretty nice throw.
Sac fly by Teixeira. And it's 12-5. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at-bat 2011 app. iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking. You can even check in at Oriole games for a chance to win prizes and upgrade your seats. Text at-bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer as the Orioles take on the Yankees here. Doubleheader tomorrow canceled. There'll be a doubleheader on Sunday, day night. And the pitch is up high for a ball. Here's A-Rod. He got his 14th home run. His last time up, solo homer. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Base is now empty. And got jammed on that and half a swing.
All over the knuckles. Well, the late Elrod Hendricks, he used to have a little white towel. When a guy'd get jammed or have a bad swing, he'd be waving it. And of course, we would be winning too, so you can do that kind of stuff. All you got to do is look out there.
2 down, nobody on here. A-Rod get out of the streak he was in. He'd gone 96 at bats without a homer. Longest streak since he came to the majors. And when he came to the majors, he was homerless in 102 at bats at the beginning of his career. This was the second longest streak without a home run. A-Rod to short. Hardy. He's got him. Yankees will get a run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming up as we remember Mike Flanagan tonight, number 46, honored at the Yard. His 150th career home run at age 28 and 22 days yesterday in Minnesota. And he became the youngest Oriole to hit 150 since Cal got that mark at the age of 26, 304 days back in June of '87 against the Yankees. And Reynolds has added another one in the ball game tonight, his 30th. There's Jeremy Guthrie, who continues to wear Flanny's number 46, and he has inquired of the ball club executives and of fans, should I continue to wear number 46 or not? And he's done that earnestly, wondering whether or not he should keep that uniform or take it off in honor of Flanny.
Well, yeah, you know, Mike was the guy that got him on waivers, and
yep.
They had a discussion. Would you mind if I wore your number? And Mike said, no, I think you're going to do a nice job for him, which he has. And boy, he said did an interview yesterday, and he's just trying to do the right thing. And,
yep.
Certainly wants a consensus of opinion to see what that is.
Yep. Towering fly ball by Andino. Granderson. Andino out of there, one down. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the Living Classroom Foundation. 348 walks, $17,400. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy, 3 RBIs, a home run, his 25th. And that pitch will be taken down and away. Not have a hit against the Yankees. 0 for 28 coming into this game this year. Took care of that with a homer.
Peck just kind of joined the party in that second inning. I mean, there already been 4 doubles and a home run. Because you got a hanging curveball to hit and belted it.
Yep, there were doubles bookended by homers in that inning. Here's the 2-0 delivered in that second inning after his one away. Reynolds homered, then Adams, Reimold, Angle, and Andino all doubled. And Hardy then hit a home run, and then an error would occur with Markakis up, and it would be the last hit. So it was homer, double, 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 homer. 2-ball, 2-strike count on J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Again, when I saw Corey Wade pitch, I'm going, I wonder what his background is. He hurt his shoulders in the Dodger organization, got picked by Tampa, walked 6 in 36 innings. That'll get your attention. And again, he's a finesse pitcher. He could hit 91, but he'll throw his breaking stuff. And that's how you try to get J.J. Hardy out in any count. You can't sit on a fastball here.
Made his Yankee debut June 15. After being signed to the major league contract, and he'll get a strikeout right there.
And then a Koji Uehara fastball, one that at 89 probably looks 95 after all the slow stuff. Watch him just finish that pitch on the inside corner.
And that will be it for Wade. Maybe a point right here, as Jim was talking about earlier with Girardi, just wants to get some people some work now that the doubleheader tomorrow has been canceled. Rafael Soriano is going to come on to do the pitching for the Yankees.
Only have one out to work with.
Yep. Have the 12-5 lead. Authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Orioles. Really a pretty night here. We had some rain for about an inning, not much. Otherwise, summer evening, and the Orioles will face Rafael Soriano. At least Markakis will.
Yeah, off the DL, elbow problems last year. The second best is that first pitch, and he'd been struggling. 5 hits, now 6 hits, 4 earned runs last 8 1/3 innings last year in the American League. What, 45 out of 48 saves. Only Heath Bell, 47 out of 50 better. But he was a closer. Brian Cashman said, "I will not give up a #1 draft choice to sign him," and then he signed him, because he thought he needed pitching.
Yep.
Got hurt early.
So Markakis on his first hit of the ball game. Here's Guerrero. Vladdy has had a single and has reached on an error, scored a run in the ball game. Orioles with 12 runs on 11 hits tonight. The Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits. Yankees have committed 4 errors, and I believe we're going to have 5 unearned runs up on the board for the Orioles.
Well, again, usually the Orioles can play that kind of game. Maybe not that many errors, but if you're Buck Showalter, he said, "Listen, we can go to Minnesota. They're not playing well. That's the way it goes. Other guys have beat up on us when we've had our problems, and that kind of jump starts you tonight." And
Orioles looking for their second 5-game win streak of the season. The last one was May 21 through 26. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Soriano. Vladdy with a big cut, and the count will go to 2-2.
You never know. Buck may have given him win one for Flanny tonight.
Yep. Well, the players certainly as quiet as anything could be, getting back last night off the trip, and again here at the ballpark tonight before the game, understanding the emotions again, as was true yesterday, would be in evidence, because back here at Camden Yards and back home again, and all of them I thought very respectful of Flanny and what he meant to the Orioles organization. 2-2 delivery is going to be a pop up to second base. Cano underneath it, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. 9th inning, Orioles 3 outs away from a victory. Jim Johnson will pitch. To you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. So the Orioles looking to get their second win in 11 chances against the Yankees with a 12-5 lead. The doubleheader tomorrow has been canceled. No games tomorrow. There will be 2 on Sunday. Jim Johnson to pitch.
Been on a roll, and Bass pitched a couple of days ago. Pretty much do anything. I guess the only suspense with Jim is whether he's going to get a chance to start in September. I guess there's still a possibility. Certainly has starter stuff, has closer stuff. Done a great job in the 8th inning. And if you're winning more games, it probably would be a position of more import. but he can get the job done. And again, get your workout when Cano's up there. But he can throw a 94 to 97 mile per hour fastball, sinking fastball with the best of them. And it's amazing you can throw a ball with that kind of velocity and get the movement when he's on his game.
Trying to wrap it up in the 9th inning. Robinson Cano, a 17-game hit streak. He got a single his last time up. That to right field, right at Markakis. Orioles' upcoming schedule is presented by Xfinity. No games tomorrow. Sunday, doubleheader, 1:30 the day game, and then 7:30 for the night game. Monday, Yankees at 7, and the Blue Jays will be coming in. Catch all the action with Xfinity only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today, 1-800-XFINITY. Cano retired. Here is Swisher. Swisher's had one of the Yankee home runs tonight. A-Rod is 14th. Posada got his 12th, and Swisher got his 19th.
Hey, he had one of those lean back and let it go type of home runs.
Swisher 3 for 9 off Jim Johnson. 0-1 delivery, a fastball inside, turned him away.
Yeah, really slow start in the last 62 games, over 300, 13, now 14 home runs, bunch of RBIs, close to 50, now 47.
Down the line and foul.
I ran into him before the game. Of course, he's such an energetic guy. His dad, a former catcher, major league player. He said, boy, I thought I had it figured out. I got in shape, had a good spring. Slow start.
See, right away, you know you had a problem, right, with the first part of that sentence. I thought I had it figured out.
Well, he was saying, yeah, you know, you do everything. You try to control the variables. And
Adams, who started this game busy, makes the play. 2 down. Updating you on our AT&T Player of the Game voting. So far, there it is. Text your vote in 51862 for A, B, or C. The results in the Ozextra postgame show. So the Orioles looking for a win against the Yankees here in the opener of this weekend series. It's going to be abbreviated, at least by 1 game, and we'll see how the storm goes. Here's Jorge Posada. He fouled it away, a home run. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game.
And the Orioles kind of like what's happening. The Oriole fans are on their feet, and the Yankee fans are exiting.
Yep.
It doesn't happen too often.
Tommy Hunter's going to be the winner, 3-2 on the year overall. Burnett's going to take the loss, 9-11. As Burnett gave up 9 runs, 7 earned, 9 hits in 5 innings. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Jorge Posada, ground ball towards first base. Reynolds has got it. Johnson. Orioles win it. 1 for you, Flanny. A 12-5 victory over the Yankees. The Orioles got it done by having 1 big inning and then spreading that offense out over the remainder of the game, and a great job by Hunter. 4 runs, 5 hits over 7. He walked no